that they are paying us. They have been paid. About 800 of my people have died. Others have got stroke. And when we meet, we see a lot of our people in wheelchairs. That's what the government wants us to be. That's what you want me to be. My right-hand side of my mind told me that save, continue to save towards the future. Now, I cannot even afford 1,000 cedis to buy this wonderful book. I'm the chairman, so I'm forced to buy it. How do I buy? So before coming here, I went to SNET. And you know what the digitalization is doing to us? At 70, at your birthday, if you don't come to confirm or validate your existence through the bio, the computer will stop paying you. Meanwhile, I'm a 3rd January 1950 born, 3rd January. So January has passed, February has passed, they've stopped paying my pension. So, Prof, I had to rush to Senate office today to tell them that I'm still alive. So they said, okay, put your left 4 fingers there, 5 of your 4 fingers of your right, you're the thumb, and then said, now you are through, you'll be paid. And how much is it? And I'm prepared to cough out of this little pension 3,000 cedis to this book. I think I need a better round of applause. I used to be a show boy as well, but now I'm down. But in spite of all these, I will tell you that it's a good book. So if nothing at all, please cough 200 cedis. I don't know, Adrian, how much will it cost in the bookshop, this book? Give me a copy. How much will it cost in Kingdom Books, for example? About 200, 250. So let's say the face value will be 200 cedis. So can I say that before everybody leaves this room and get the blessings from the chairman, you have to buy 200 cedis. That will be your seed money for the blessing for the rest of this year.
If government's position doesn't change, would you advise that the group, just as my brother said, sought a solution in court?
That's certainly a strong option. For myself, I will. For myself.
Okay.
So for right? But not on behalf of the association. The association has a decision.
On the back of your answer to my colleague, you said you are not brought up to beg for things that ordinarily belong to you. You've been a very outstanding member of this country. You've served governments in the past. Don't you think that probably you could have a conversation with, say, the finance minister or the president, as he suggested, and as you are saying, it's an issue of principle. Maybe the principles may just come through when they get a word from you.
What am I going to say that's going to swing anything? Okay, what I've got to say, I'm saying. Yeah. Yes. What I've got to say, I said it on Friday, actually. So,
and you're comfortable with the backlash?
Listen, sticks and stones may break my bones, but blah blah will not hurt me. No. And insults is the weapon in trade. That's all I've got to say. I'm not going to trade men can say me dofa dadan. Me dofa dan me thankful. Per se, o chame. It won't happen.
To be very clear, Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have performed poorly. I have no doubt whatsoever that we are going to vote against the MPP resoundingly. I have no doubt whatsoever. I supported Akufo-Addo. I've never voted for JM. But right now, today, I can't play ostrich. NDC is the biggest opposition. They usually have at least about 45%. So they need just about 5% to cross. So people like us, the floating voters, who usually change. Yes, we will go in that direction. We can't hide it because with the way Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have looted this country, I cannot vote for Bawumia. Bawumia, listen, his in-law, Ramadan, Samira's brother, took a scholarship, about £18,000. He didn't attend the school. He couldn't even arrange to defer the the admission. So the money just went into a drain, about £18,000. You know how many students I could have catered for here? Bawumia's brothers are taking sole sourcing contracts for road construction, etc. The cocoa board roads, right? Other things, PDS, Bawumia was involved in. So many things. I voted for them in 2016. I cannot vote for the same Bawumia. No, I'll be rewarding corruption. So he has to go. Let somebody else come. At least the solace is that JM, when it comes to the records, his fight, his record on corruption is better than Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. JM's lowest mark on the fight against corruption was 43. Akufo-Addo, since he came, he and Bawumia, for the 7 years, their best mark is 43. So JM's lowest is Akufo-Addo's best. I mean, so, and of course, not just Akufo-Addo. If you read Article 76, etc., Bawumia helps the president. Yes, he's vice president. He can't run away from that record. So, based on the record, look, corruption, press freedom, democracy index, and the economy, JM has it. I mean, let's be very factual. Not because he's an angel, but relatively. You see, we are comparing relatively. It's not like we have Angel Gabriel in the mix and we are refusing to vote. Angel Gabriel is not part of this election. We are comparing Bawumia and John Mahama. And it's clear that John Mahama is a better candidate, so he will win. That one, I have no doubt.
All right, lawyer, thank you very much. This is lawyer Martin Pebu, and we just dragged him.
Look, Mr. Bill, you've really exemplified what D looks like in life here today. That's how D, a performance of D, that's how it looks like. Yeah, a pure performance of D. Listen, as I sat there, watch you and watch Sami Gyamfi, it's clear that Sami Gyamfi has been very clear. He's been very clear, very eloquent. He's been able to articulate his points, and he's won head and shoulders over you. That's how D looks like in life. I told you this ECA is a bunch of incompetence. A bunch of incompetence. Listen, when we have a new government, the first demonstration we'll be doing will be for us to reconstitute the EC. You can't put party foot soldiers there, and then they'll give you a D performance like this. D! How can you say this register, you would not exhibit it again? How? Listen, let me tell you, based on all the problems NDC has identified, you have no option but to do this independent audit. Okay. I saw that. I hear John Mahama met U.S. Ambassador Virginia Palmer. Yes. Please, Ambassador Virginia Palmer, help us. There must be an independent audit. These guys want to rig this election. So, they want to rig it and will not allow. Look, on Tuesday, Ghanaians pour out into the streets. Let's go and demonstrate. EC can't take us for granted. Why? Are we kids? You've had 8 years, you've looted and looted us. You want to help them to loot again, another 4 years. We will not allow that to happen. Madam Palmer, please, step in. Yes, step in. Let's have that independent audit. Have you heard? 3,900 and what's the figure? 87 illegal transfer. You think that's a joke? Then the 15,000 one. Then the 2,000.
243,000.
Can you imagine? Well, and you are doing, you think we don't want a D. No more Ds. It's either A or it's A. You get out.
All right. Well,
make the register not certified. And so it is, if you request that you want a summary, that's fine. But this is something we've been doing for since time immemorial. And we've not added summaries to it. And this is not the first time. In 2019, we gave out the soft copy of the register. In 2020, we gave out the soft copy of the register. In 2023, we gave a soft copy of the register, and it did not have a summary. So the fact that there's no summary does not make it not certified. The register, as you see, as you have it, is a certified true copy of the register. If you choose to return it, that's your prerogative. You can do so. And this is a request you are making. It is not binding in law. It is not binding in law. And this is something we've been doing since time immemorial. I believe from Mr. Tete and Co, who've been here since 1992, they've never given a summary to anybody. So if it is your request today, that's fine. I mean, we are not obliged to give it to you. But I think as a commission that believes in transparency, that accommodates and is responsive to the needs of its stakeholders, we don't have a problem generating a detailed summary for you, but we are not obliged. And there's no way in law. But as mentioned, and I like to put it on record, it has never happened. It's a request you have made, we are not obliged to give it. As a commission, we thought that in the interest of transparency and responsiveness, we should provide you with that summary. And so we will. As Dr. Korea J indicated, we thought that we should give you the details and not just a summary. And so when they went in, it requires some audit checks and so on and so forth, and that is being done. And so you can return your drive if you wish. It does not make what you have not certified. Those registers you have are certified, and that's the final register. It's important for the public to know that we have 21 days within which to give you the certified register. The register was certified on Friday, and we are not even up to 7 days. So we have up to 21 days to give you the certified register. But it's up to you. You can choose to return it or not. As I mentioned, it does not make it any less than certified. We place on record here that the registers that you have in those cases are the certified copies of the final register. They are fit, they are credible, they are robust for delivering a true, a credible, a fair, and a transparent election come December 2024. So I think that we, as a commission, will take our leave now, and it's up to you to keep it or return it. But it is a certified true copy of the register. You cannot hold us to ransom. We are not obliged to give you a summary. This has been the practice since 1992, and it is out of the spirit of transparency and responsiveness, as I mentioned, that we are providing those summaries to you. So as we indicated, we will notify you tomorrow, and we will send the summaries, I believe, that by soft copy. Those who return their own, when you get the summaries via WhatsApp or email, you can come and pick up your certified register. Thank you very much. Our friends from the media would like to thank you very much for your time here. We know we've taken a lot of your time, and until we meet again, it's bye for now. Thank you very much.
To the system to check.
You think that the agency will be able to do it tomorrow and hand it over to you?
If they do it tomorrow and hand it over, we'll come and pick our thing. But for now, we don't have any register from them. We are saying we won't take it. She knows it. And she has agreed to that. Officially, we handed it over. Your cameras were there. See me handing it over back to them. If we don't have the statistics, the data, we are not going to take this one.
Well,
you can't force it on us.
Without the summaries, the copy or the register assistance is certified.
Is that how they certify register? You just dump a pen, this and hard drive to us, 2 terabytes, and say that's a certified register. Have you seen the content of it? The last time they gave us a hard drive, we checked and there were almost 1,000 corrupted files. You saw it. They even said it. By those, they are now generating missing voters list. What are they talking about? We are not going to accept this. You cannot force anything on her. And say, who is holding it? She is holding Ghana into ransom. She held all of you to ransom. What did you say? Media man, you were standing there. For more than 6 hours, she held you to ransom. To come and now use that kind of thing on you and telling you that if you want, you can go. We can have, yeah, we've handed it to her. She can keep her Electoral Commission. We too are a major political power. We see who is who in Ghana.
The is not being patient enough to explain issues to you.
We have spoken our mind. That's all. If they won't explain it, they can go to hell. We don't care.
Beyond returning the hard drive, what really is the NDC going to do beyond this?
We wait for it. We are asking for this thing. We asked for the statistics. They knew the importance of the statistics. They went to their system. If they knew that they were not obliged to give us, they wouldn't have gone to sit for almost 6 hours before coming. They know the importance of that.
They might have had an issue. That is
well, your guess is as good as mine. They know they can't generate. They don't have. This register cannot be a satisfied. I know these people. They don't have. They are trying to cover up their roads.
Realistically, was the time from which the meeting was suspended to the return of the commissioner and the deputies, realistically, was it ample enough to have produced something substantive?
That should have been one of the first things for them to do before talking of satisfying the register. That statistics should be at their fingertips. That is the basics that they should have done first before talking of the register itself. You don't give a register without statistics. You are not going to generate statistics for it. So we are going to go into election without you knowing the total number of people registered and all that. You want me to go and look at this before I can generate it myself? We are not going to do. These are the kind of incompetence they are always exhibiting, and we are saying that these are the people who jeopardize the democracy of this country. And we have said it our mind. Good night.
All right. Thank you.
I'd like to give her the summary. She should have told us around 5 o'clock.
So have you returned the drive?
We've returned it. We are officially, we have returned the drive back to them until we get the summaries. What is she talking about? I've been doing the election since 1988. I have passed through all the mills, and I know every election cycle summaries are given to us. Ballot printing, go to the ballot printing house and see whether summaries are not there. Haven't they given provisional summaries?
That is not the modus operandi of the...
I am saying that she's not the first electoral commissioner. We have dealt with commissioners before, and we had all I can provide you all summaries from 1992 up to now if you want. I have it.
You think she's deviating?
Completely. She knows the thing. How can you go to election? Now I'm asking you, what is the total registered voters for the election? You are media, do you know? Why were you silent? Why didn't you ask her?
She mentioned that
the
last election they didn't do something like that.
And so you just went to the election without knowing the total number of registered voters. Go to their website. You will see the 2020 total registered voters. As we speak now, do you have it? That is the summaries we are talking of. Do you have it? You are the media. I'm asking you, do you have it?
Is there any wrong if they don't give you the summary?
Do you go to election without noting the total, the registered voters? Is that how you go to elections? Is that how you go to elections? Sign what? I'll return it back to them. Sign what? What did I sign?
You didn't debunk that.
I debunked it, of course. I told them. I told them that, look, what you are saying, without the summaries and statistics, the register is incomplete. Is that not what I told them? Do the system to check.
You think that the agency will be able to do it tomorrow and hand it over to you?
If they do it tomorrow and hand it over, we'll come and pick our thing. But for now, we don't have any register from them. We are saying we won't take it. She knows it. And she has agreed to that. Officially, we handed it over. Their cameras were there. See me handing it over back to them. If we don't have the statistics, the data, we are not going to take this one.
Well,
you can't force it on us.
The summaries, the copy of the register assistance is certified.
Is that how they certify register? You just dump a pen, this and hard drive to us, 2 terabytes, and say that's a certified register. Have you seen the content of it? The last time they gave us a hard drive, we checked and there were almost 1,000 corrupted files. You saw it. They even said it. By the way, they are now generating missing voters list. What are they talking about? We are not going to accept this. You cannot force anything on her. And say who is holding she is holding Ghana into ransom. She held all of you to ransom. What did you say? Media man, you were standing there. For more than 6 hours, she held you to ransom. To come and now use that kind of thing on you and telling you that if you want, you can go. We can have, yeah, we've handed it to her. She can keep her electoral commission. We too are a major political party. We see who is who in Ghana.
Not being patient enough to explain issues to you.
We have spoken our mind. That's all. If they won't explain it, they can go to hell. We don't care.
Beyond returning the hard drive, what really is the NDC going to do beyond this?
We wait for it. We are asking for this thing. We asked for the statistics. They knew the importance of the statistics. They went to their system. If they knew that they were not obliged to give us, they wouldn't have gone to sit for almost 6 hours before coming. But they know the importance of that.
They might have had an issue. That is why.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. They know they can't generate. They don't have. This register cannot be satisfied. I know these people. They don't have. But they are trying to cover up their roads.
Realistically, was the time from which the meeting was suspended to the return of the commissioner and the deputies, realistically, was it ample enough to have produced something substantive?
That should have been one of the first things for them to do before talking of satisfying the register. That statistics should be at their fingertips. That is the basics that they should have done first before talking of the register itself. You don't give a register without statistics. You are not going to generate statistics for it. So we are going to go into election without you knowing the total number of people registered and all that. You want me to go and look at this before I can generate it myself? We are not going to do. These are the kind of incompetence they are always exhibiting, and we are saying that these are the people who jeopardize the democracy of this country. And we have said it our mind. Good night.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, we knew that the stance will take a while if it is a comprehensive one. But I believe my colleagues were just asking for a general summary. But I think that we wanted to go deeper into it and give us regional breakdown. We just wanted a general overview. I believe that was the understanding. But later, when we were keeping we knew that maybe you wanted to go in there and give us a detailed breakdown. But that's okay. But we have the opinion that since we've already signed for, if I have not signed, that's a different matter. Now that we've signed for, we will also keep the drive. And hopefully, tomorrow, we'll return and take a better and better attitude. Thank you.
And I think that the Kenya say easy am I the final register at the Kwakotuaba. And before Ansana or the register my never raise issues. Say what the idea mobia at least as a uchich the mukakra. O my who become open sempensemu, my who dear womb because when Timmy fa a dear way and shamin some say me fan coffee and I mean coffee the womb name mekanchro. Today near Bisano. It is a 1 mile register now. Adian can you say again? Say any part was an old register. No, this should be something easy. In fact, university level, first year computer science student, who say 1 man is soft data way. On ye or who ni part do yatro mudia. Obet me a yama. But you're now close to 2 hours in here. Ni part do I throw mudi book me. I feel so. The number of polling stations are here. To about you know so any. These are basic details. I ebusa. Today, can you know? Na we you say you hear summary of the register. Ye be life or has say media how be our has say Ghana for so at least Ghanaians deserve to know. Said the mode kono yen so the nimfa honye. Until at least ebusa obi a wonim say Yes, see a training padudo say Dia on Babe Day, on Babe Tuaba. And Pessoas were betuaba, I had to do say. The Pakrana Tromudin, a mumma say, a mumma say, where your basic details are, I say and Zaka. And on a take here 2 hours, I had the tea. Yehutama, a be free, I say. Intending, I don't know. Say you said the war when you know a Bruce Ambria, a Binum Basson Barbe Yedide. One say you raise the issue, Dr. Tanko raise the issue. Nabinu Yedide. And so, Honorable Lunch Martin, Nay, Nencroft on the Repsi, sorry, or Mokasai. Madame Jimensa, Ebusan, question say your dear no becca, and it's a paper bema, Diana Mope. Ufi say your dear no ya, Nipacone say. We are live on TV, Ghana phone never. Into the Modia Mayan, fire Quacoshim, but Monka who be bigakra, and Chile and Ghana for Zoom who say, Yansia Namosia training per 16 million, near Cohu 16.5. Naya Becan Wasama, and Conquer day. Problem. And one more. Ya Quaco to about Pessoas who say, you do say polling stations, say crying. Nansaya almost almost be Abecaho. Ye name police stations do by a baby. What's why a final register? My young womb. Code book I can once them. Baby a constituency a trouble be a young number no constituency say Nipado say where your basic data and can you see a deep 5 minutes crowd has it? And now say answer na Madam Bayer press conference no. Now I say Kodika Kai no crown sana or the way I day. Am I? This is a basic administrative procedure. In the end, say Yebusa Moye Dede, or you 2 more or more carbon 2 hours in here. That's what you are in time. I free. I say. Dr. Georgia Tabuatin, Deputy Director for IT, NDC.
Sort of do an audit of the database that we have against the PDF files that we put on that flash drive for you. And as you can imagine, we are talking about 40,976 polling stations, and it's checking them one by one. So it's taking quite some time to be able to do those checks, to finally give you those statistics. And it is important that we verify all the checks that we are doing every step of the way, so that we are all certain in our minds that the final summary that we give to you is the true reflection of what is on the drives that you have. And it's not just going to be a summary, it's going to be a regional breakdown of all the lists that you've been given. And unfortunately, as we said, it takes time to be able to do that. And so we are able to provide it to you now as we speak. So what we are doing now in our assessment is going to take it anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour.
So it is your request. It does not make the register not certified. And so it is, if you request that you want a summary, that's fine. But this is something we've been doing for since time immemorial. And we've not added summaries to it. And this is not the first time. In 2019, we gave out the soft copy of the register. In 2020, we gave out the soft copy of the register. In 2023, we gave out the soft copy of the register. And it did not have a summary. So the fact that there's no summary does not make it not certified. The register, as you see, as you have it, is a certified true copy of the register. If you choose to return it, that's your prerogative. You can do so. And this is a request you are making. It is not binding in law. It is not binding in law. And this is something we've been doing since time immemorial. I believe from Mr. Tete and Co, who've been here since 1992, they've never given a summary to anybody. So if it is your request today, that's fine. I mean, we are not obliged to give it to you. But I think as a commission that believes in transparency, that accommodates and is responsive to the needs of its stakeholders, we don't have a problem generating the detailed summary for you, but we are not obliged. And there's nowhere in law. But as mentioned, and I like to put it on record, it has never happened. It's a request you have made, we are not obliged to give it. As a commission, we thought that in the interest of transparency and responsiveness, we should provide you with that summary. And so we will. As Dr. Oforia J indicated, we thought that we should give you the details and not just a summary. And so when they went in, it requires some audit checks and so on and so forth, and that is being done. And so you can return your drive if you wish. It does not make what you have not certified. Those registers you have are certified, and that's the final register. It's important for the public to know that we have 21 days within which to give you the certified register. The register was certified on Friday, and we are not even up to 7 days. So we have up to 21 days to give you the certified register. But it's up to you. You can choose to return it or not. As I mentioned, it does not make it any less than certified. We place on record here that the registers that you have in those cases are the certified copies of the final register. They are fit, they are credible, they are robust for delivering a true, a credible, a fair, and a transparent election come December 2024. So I think that we, as a commission, will take our leave now, and it's up to you to keep it or return it. But it is a certified true copy of the register. You cannot hold us to ransom. We are not obliged to give you a summary. This has been the practice since 1992, and it is out of, the spirit of transparency and responsiveness, as I mentioned, that we are providing those summaries to you. So as we indicated, we will notify you tomorrow, and we will send the summaries, I believe, that by soft copy. Those who return their own, when you get the summaries via WhatsApp or email, you can come and pick up your certified register. Thank you very much. Our friends from the media would like to thank you very much.
Is that how they certified register? You just dump a pen, this hard drive to a 2 terabyte and say that's a certified register. Have you seen the content of it? The last time they gave us a hard drive, we checked and they were almost 1,000 corrupted files. You saw it, they even said it, by the way, they are not generating missing voters list. What are they talking about? We are not going to accept this. You cannot force anything on her. And say, who is holding it? She is holding Ghana to ransom. She held all of you to ransom. What did you say? Media men, you were standing there. For more than 6 hours, she held you to ransom. To come and now use that kind of thing on you and telling you that if you want, you can go. You can have, yeah, we've handed it to her. She can keep her electoral commission, which we are a major political party. We'll see who is who. They cannot be an election without statistics. Why are they doing ballot printing? Ask them. Don't they have statistics over there? Why didn't they take the register and send it over there for printing? Is that how you do things? Okay. And you are saying you are holding to ransom. You held the whole media and political party for ransom here for more than 6 hours. And they are talking about it. If they don't bring the ballot statistics or the voter statistics and the summaries, we are not going to take the register.
If the summaries are ready tomorrow, will you come back to
I said that's why we're here. We're here waiting for the summaries. They promised giving us a summary. We didn't put dagger on their this neck to ask for the summary. If she knew that she was not obliged to give us the summary, she should have told us around 5 o'clock.
So have you returned the drive?
We returned it. We have officially we have returned the drive back to them until we get the summary. What is she talking about? I've been doing the election since 1988. I have passed through all the mills, and I know every election cycle summaries are given to us. Ballot printing, go to the ballot printing house and see whether summaries are not there. Haven't they given?
So just so that is not the modus operandi of the commission.
I am saying that she is not the first electoral commissioner. We have dealt with commissioners before, and we had all some. I can provide you all summaries from 1992 up to now if you want. I have it.
You think she's debating?
Completely. She knows the thing. How can you go to election? Now I'm asking you, what is the total registered voters for the election? You are media, do you know? Why were you silent? Why didn't you ask her?
But why didn't you mention
and I'm saying, why didn't
last election they didn't do something like that?
And so you just went to the election without knowing the total number of registered voters. Go to their website. You will see the 2020 total registered voters. As we speak now, do you have it? That is the summaries we are talking of. Do you have it? You are the media. I'm asking, do you have it?
Is there any wrong if they don't give you the summary?
Do you go to election without noting the total, the registered voters? Is that how you go to elections? Is that how you go to elections? Sign what? I'll return it back to them. Sign what? What did I sign?
You didn't debunk that.
I debunked, of course. I told them. I told them that look, what you are saying without the summaries and statistics, the register is incomplete.
We have a possibility of a minority government where the voters vote for the president, but he has less members of parliament. And that is a minority government. How is he going to get the majority members of parliament to always approve his business for him to govern the nation? We can also have a coalition or a merger of parties government. And the familiar one we know is the majority government. These are possible governments constitutionally guaranteed in Ghana. In the current hung parliament, the new standing orders of parliament had to cater for such a government by a number of provisions in the standing orders. We also provided provisions for all the other options of government that are just displayed. For instance, a day which we call a decision day has been designated in the new standing orders, where the Speaker, in consultation with the leadership of the House, will set aside to allow members of Parliament who are ministers and deputy ministers the opportunity to be present in Parliament to be counted in support of government position to ensure government business does not suffer for lack of government members of Parliament in Parliament. Despite the above, often the number of government members present a possibility of a minority government.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and the political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 7th day of November 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. No constitutional crisis. Speaker of Parliament assures nation. Shift to holistic education. Reverend Professor Sari Danso advocates knowledge, skills, moral values. Petroleum rakes in $840.77 million half year. We'll make America great again. Trump declares as 47th U.S. president-elect. And there's a special supplement on Farmers' Day, which will be commemorated tomorrow. But the holiday is still the first Friday in December, which will be 6th of December. The Ghanaian Times. You are undermining Parliament. Bagbin accuses executive and judicial arms of government. I'll complete PTC interchange, Takrady Market Circle project before I leave office. President. U.S. elections. Trump makes sweeping comeback as U.S. vows to deepen relations with Ghana regardless of polls outcome. Best bags 881 million cedis profit in 4 years. I'm sure it's bust, not best, bust, because there's Dr. Provençal, so that must be bust. Okay. Daily Guide. EC presents certified voters register to parties. I'll establish tomato factory at Akomada and Baomia. Nana elevates 15 assemblies. Trump sweeps U.S. elections. No constitutional crisis, says Bagbin. The New Crusading Guide. Oliver Bakavoma's woes deepen in court as judge adjourns defamation case to November 20th for commencement of trial.
How Ghana can successfully educate its population to attain desired cultural values, peace and collective prosperity. Sam Jonah. Ghana goes live June 2025 for FLEGT licenses, Lands Minister. EC presents final voters register to political parties. Private hospitals reduce dialysis and surgery costs as Nana Nkete's health advocacy yields results. Retraction and apology to former President John Mahama, and that has to do with a story carried by the New Crusading Guide yesterday, linking him to some story related to corruption. It's a story that was also syndicated on about 5 other news, front pages of 5 other newspapers. So the retraction and apology to the former president is in today's edition of the New Crusading Guide. The insight. Impasse of anti-LGBTQ bill, declaration of 4 seats vacant, Aban Bagbin accuses Akufo-Addo and judiciary of violating constitution. Election 2024, Alliance of Feminist CSOs examines chances of women in upcoming polls. Peace plan for Alavanyo in Konya conflict unveiled at last, as Abraham Kluche's peace dossier chronicles events and achieved results. Baumia used rented crowd in Volta region campaign, says Ho West MP. Nia Kobo Abuchi, the first installed as principal head of Nisape Abuchi family, 1 month into expansion of Israel's war on Lebanon. The Daily Statesman, the elephant wins in USA. NPP says Trump's victory reignites center-right support globally. Ghana to pioneer Africa's FLEGT licenses issuance. Ghana showcases progressive urban development in Cairo. Bust clears 384 million cedis debt. Daily Post. Digitalization meaningless to us when we have no access to electricity, Asante Chief. I trust your re-election brings prosperity to the American people. Mahama to Trump. Akufo-Addo and the judiciary have violated the constitution, Aban Bagbin. We will occupy majority side when Parliament resumes today, Abuja. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Yo, guys, can you believe Momo is 15 years in Ghana? Really? Yes, it's been 15 years of Fatumi Fon Somame. Wow. 15 years of Shabi Momo.
15 years of Loyazo.
15 years of I've paid the school fees.
Charlie, breaking news! Win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 rewards promo! Guys!
Just download the new My Momo app, transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 people to win 15,000 cedis each, and one of the 150 people to win 1,500 cedis each. Hurry Ghana, download the new My Momo app and start getting rewarded today.
Yo, you download them. Download. I stop Vincent.
It is the Momo at 50 celebrations with MTN Momo. Pay faster, pay safer, pay easier, and just Momo it.
With license. Now we a mate.
Adam Bajan, I'm a mate. Tamana me a mate, and my master estimate the car and mammy. Me you good sales. My master in your baby and case my year sales da.
A dear ben for phone or the air.
Oh, madam, they say they may person me far a bear for coin, faso, a diduma. Na catch the passengers, no, I'm a modi or momo at your lorry fare. Now, face so. My mom de or more Ghana card not to ticket online.
Eh, the papa and I told so. Over to Yanka.
But you, with us.
Next. What license?
But your Jimmy license 2016.
You're frozen.
John.
Ah. John Wubium. Ejuma iwa ye bida. Na wo driving enye. E be dey na passengers for no omo ji we dibi. Eh? Wait me driving.
But your eye. Now, almost say minya edwuma no a omo bema me lances no enfie
9 pay. Yo, na dey ben foforo na whatever.
Masesa.
But yenka.
Mo vote Bekasa 7 December to Abama Baomia na enuma ye enkoso torche. Said ye die ne puntio beba obi abrabo. Eye sro ho, eye number 1.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashform store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashform, feel it, know it.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us JC mixture and the capsules. Aye num bom. Enho asem na mo kana. Ebua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya ne nti sese ne oyi chokmo. Give us GC mixture and a capsule. Achesa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Kwada when you feed you.
Dr. Baumia once said in a church.
Since 2014 in India, they have a policy to only build concrete roads because it works out much cheaper. So I said, well, let me bring this to my bosses, and we have been discussing this as recently as last week in Parliament. And Bishop Dag, I'll let you into it. Cabinet did decide last week that we should move towards concrete roads as a country.
Where are the concrete roads? It was all lies. You trust this man at your own peril. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. Dr. Baumia once said,
They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting, and therefore you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue, and then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong.
Plenty English know the full baskets. They told us they'd move us from taxation to production, but they rather imposed over 40 taxes on suffering Ghanaians. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Imagine walking into a secure environment you call your own, a home where you are in charge of your own security.
But while you dream of a brighter future, shadows could be lurking at your doorsteps and windows. With real-time alerts and a professional response team ready to act, your home is protected around the clock, whether you're away or asleep. Don't wait for safety, create it. Installed by professionals, our systems integrate seamlessly into your home, guarding every nook and cranny. And with our rent-to-own plan, this unmatched security comes with no burdensome upfront cost. Enjoy your safety, payment at your own pace, and peace of mind. Plus, our theft guarantee protection ensures you're covered in case of any loss, giving you even more peace of mind. Secure your home with Home Shield. Make peaceful sleep a habit, knowing we stand guard. Response 1, protecting your world 24/7.
John, mema wakwaba.
Yeah, so.
Alaji, mema wakwaba.
Yeah.
John, I had a bro, one on.
I really am a gun and Tina Menamo, and then break a crane Mijano. Tonotina Masaba.
Alaji, I had a bro.
Yo, Medasi. Mwamonim, Tamana Amawa, which you Mumiana Name Bobo and a Kakra. As I say, dear, my crowd said, the person may be warino. Namiko Siesio, Name Mani San Jan and Nasubu, no your crabeshe.
Yo, I was not for, yes, Empire. Yo, I'm a Ghana. What's more? Mean to me, and sanity. Your bread baby, I would have family. A man who, there be. Mean to me, beauty. Forward ever, backwards never. John, wo okwanya wo de me bai faaso ahokyere ekom dum so hwa me nana no mi ya free SHS ya ba ya ko ma nya school anko ena hwe ya o ma yefe
ase o ma sesan be hye obo sa ahomache tu okro kokora meko band na makwa akwa yiska e de abra magana na maboni getire ama na starting kokon ketenkete
Akunta, we are still incompetent.
2% side Mammy Abrabo, a 2 chacha to say aviator. There be a muscle.
Alaji has also promised us jobs through digitalization. A Jumambe Busiste.
Alaji dear, Metanasua, Nemasore, a Miribia Mecania Besano, with me talk and near light when you phone so, a mammy, baby, our Nambia. Yo, Amagana, and Yamin Mewari amount. Alaji ni Jones ni wa chusu no ababa say eye Alaji number 1
Alaji number 1
esoro
apomode wonsem yemfen diagro enunti na se wonom edopapa nko a Exodus moringa capsules ene Exodus dandelion capsules efi Exodus elusuyenum na ebeboa wa pomoden emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa nanso se wonye to no a wo betimi andom abo na ebeboa papa se wonnom Exodus moringa capsules ne Exodus dandelion capsules ebua mamoja di efusani yie na afei ebusi wo immune system no na akwatia yarewa ahodo menimi yie se ni padodo na nim dia moringa etimi ye na dandelion so yenim enunti menkasa bebre enye ma pemfo ana abatan a oma enifo ana abofra onya emfidumi Exodus ehua dance die dos
you the answer to my prayers you with me everywhere you're my angel miracle you're all I need tonight give me shelter from the rain you breathe life in me again you're my angel miracle you're all I need to know tonight
the luckiest
star 712 hash
luck is everywhere
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing so you have to one lie. Hey, wait.
You can put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck.
Bill ready.
We are star 712.
It's put your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest.
Aha, and now with me at of ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Ah, mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
So, maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Dr. Baumia once said,
The economy is going to grow and grow and grow, and we will have jobs and jobs and jobs. This is the economy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
The unemployment rate, which stood at just 8% in 2016, has hit an all-time high of 15%. The latest 2024 Afrobarometer indicates that unemployment is the biggest problem facing the nation. You trust this liar at your own peril. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's been an awesome journey with Momo from MTN. 15 years of ease, safety, and convenience. This is definitely worth celebrating. That's why the Momo at 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes to say thank you. Send Momo to an MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever on MTN. So go on, download my Momo on App Store, Play Store to enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. If you're thinking of getting that toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. This is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops, and it's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. You can reach Samara Company Limited on 0246 864 798. KEL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. With me on the show this morning, I have the former member of Parliament of the Kankwe North constituency. Okay. As a member of the Baumia 2024 campaign team, and he's also a spokesperson on the economy for government. Okay, so Alhaji Fuseni Isa is here with me on the show. Alhaji, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you, and good morning to your viewers, and good morning to my brother.
Right. Okay, so I have another Alhaji here with me on the show. He's a senior Alhaji, senior too. So Alhaji Isa.
Okay, so he's the Member of Parliament for the Tamale North constituency, and he's on the ballot for this election as well on the ticket of the NDC. And he's the ranking member on the Lands and Natural Resource Committee in Parliament, Alhaji Al-Hassan Suhini, as you're with me on the show. Alhaji.
Doc.
Good morning.
Good morning. And thanks for teaching me the other meaning of the phrase due diligence this morning. It's a very useful lecture. The broader meaning of
yes. It saves you.
Yeah, it's just what I said.
Due diligence is very important.
Very, very important.
But Alhaji, I realize since you came from Kano, I've not seen you with
Oh, I think it's a.
Or you are more than Alhaji.
My brother here prefers to wear them. I think it's a fashion sort of.
It's a fashion statement.
Sort of status or something.
It's not
a requirement. I mean, it's preferred in certain circumstances.
And I don't see your silver tooth too.
I think it's also not part of family, but I mean, it's a social.
The gold for women,
for the women and then silver for the men. Yeah, but it's also not a requirement. I mean, it's just something that people want to do to show their status and all of that. But they are not requirements actually like that. Yeah.
Okay. So how's life like being a
life is good. And being an Alhaji also, you just have to be careful. I mean, it's like being born afresh. You have an opportunity.
Born again.
Born again. You have an opportunity to start
all
again.
All your sins are wiped off.
Are wiped off.
Okay.
But then it puts a bit more on you that when you do something wrong now, maybe the marking that you get is much higher than before. Yeah, I mean, so you have to.
I mean, every Alhaji knows this.
And we pray to God. We pray to God. I mean, Randy, you are getting into realms that I actually shy away from this morning.
You are taking your time and you are excited about giving an explanation that is not required.
He's taking
because they are driving you to a certain point.
The realms in which I am this morning, it's just not. They are not the realms that I want to be invited into. So please.
May God have mercy on all of us.
All of us. That's what I pray.
We're all sinners.
God is a merciful God. And then due diligence.
Yes, and yeah. Very important. Very, very important.
Anyway. Number 45 has become or will become number 47 in the United States of America.
Right.
Donald J. Trump. The next of America. And it looks like, I mean, yesterday, unlike the spectacle of 2020, yesterday you saw America probably regain its lost glory when it comes to it being the doyen of democracy and all that. I don't know what you make of that. That I've seen the elephant thing and all that. Your party's issued a statement, elephant there, elephant here, and all. But I think that it's been seamless.
Yeah.
It's been seamless. It's unlike what we witnessed in 2020. I mean, this makes what is happening over the last 2 days makes democracy enticing and exciting.
Randy, I must say that the American elections were quite interesting, given the candidacy of a sitting president, Joe Biden, and circumstances under which the Democrats had to change their candidacy 3.5 months or so into major elections like what they did, given where Kamala Harris started off and her gains in the polls in the run-up to the elections and all. In fact, for me, I have limited access to U.S. media. I only get CNN, so CNN is also and it's also quite skewed. So you get to see what the Democrats stand for. They push it, and it's always anti-Republican sort of. And so it was quite interesting. But like you said, the U.S. showed. I mean, it's a stark difference from what we experienced in 2020. And 2020, you recollect, we had also we're also going into elections just like around this time. And so the concentration was, but after we had done our swearing in and all of that and had the opportunity to wait until I think January 20th for the U.S. to do the handle, that's when we got time to actually catch up with what was happening in the U.S. I think that, like you said, the U.S. is taking back its past glory. But I tend to also sit back and see, what if the elections had gone the other way? Mm-hmm. Because the Republicans made it feel as if they're going to only lose if the elections are rigged. And we are having similar sentiments in Ghana as well. I think that going into an election, I personally have won and I have lost elections before, so I actually have prepared myself going into any major elections like this. But I think that it was good to see a seamless process in the U.S. It's good that yesterday I heard Kamala Harris promising to be part of the transition and ensuring that they have a more seamless transition that they did when they were coming into power in 2021. And so we look up to the U.S. and then the change in the world order. Already people are looking at the U.S. Foreign policy, which is stark. What is going to happen to the happenings between Russia and Ukraine and things like that. And so in the coming days, in the coming months, we are looking forward to U.S. showing that leadership. But it's true. The elephant has gone back to the White House. And I so much know that the elephant will stay in the Jubilee House in Ghana as well. You know, the link between the U.S. elections and Ghanaian elections, where we won in 2016, and Donald Trump also won in 2020. We won again, but the Democrats came. But we'll still remain in power in 2024 and work with our sister center-right party in the U.S. You know, we are both in the IDU community, and so we tend to work more closer because of our common beliefs and in democracy. And so we're looking forward to a second tenure for Donald Trump. I hope that it's not as eventful as we saw the first time. Even watching CNN post the declaration, or you see the tone, everything is coming down. It's more getting to uniting the nation, and the average American is very patriotic, despite the fact that they sometimes it's very difficult to understand. And for people like myself, you sit back and the issues that went into the elections, a couple of things back. Whilst the Republicans were more on the economy and hitting the economy, the Democrats were also having issues like sustenance of democracy, women, reproductive rights, and all of that. And I mean, the U.S. people, the sovereignty of the nation lies in the people of the America. And if they had made a decision, so
the
they
Americans
I wish them all the best.
Made a loud statement. They said it's the economy. Stupid.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Absolutely.
It's true. I also think that maybe where the Democrats didn't really do well is also to explain to the people. You recollect that Biden had assumed power in 2021. This was right after the pandemic. And the pandemic had a very telling effect on all economies, including affairs like the U.S. And so at the point, I mean, the United States was experiencing highest inflation in about 40 years and all of that, but they had to contend with it. Look at the number of people who actually died in 2020. The nation had to contend with all these headwinds coming into election 2024. And that is what
the UK didn't listen to. The UK didn't listen to this excuse.
Oh, the UK as well. You see,
the US didn't listen to this excuse in their election.
Yeah.
I don't know where else in the world where they've listened to. In fact, for most parts of the world where we're having elections, it's about the economy.
Of course. I won't run away from that. The elections is about the economy. But you see, even within the economy, you also look at the track record of people managing the economy.
Yes.
Where did we start off? Unless we have the benefit of being in power before the pandemic. And so we have a set of records to show that, but for the headwinds that we experienced in 2020 and onwards, this was our performance, and that is what the people are getting. We had a benefit of comparing what transpired between 2017, 2018, 2019 to what happened post the pandemic in 2021 onwards. And so people have the opportunity to assess us in a situation where we didn't have this pandemic, and then also compare, even within the biggest threats that humanity is faced in living memory, how we have dealt with it and where we are today. Look, if you look at the MPC report for September, our economy in the second half of 2024 was growing in excess of 6%. And that is what we are looking for. This is an economy which is recovering from a time that we are not experiencing living memory. And so this is what the people of Ghana will have to look and give Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia another opportunity to continue. Look, today, what's happening today? He's launching a credit scoring scheme. This is not happened in the form in which we are doing business today. What is the essence of some of these interventions? Is to ensure that, look, consumption is promoted. People are able to consume even before they earn. And these are some of the fundamentals on which advanced economies have been built. And these are the things that we are urging Ghanaians. Look,
explain it to me.
You mean the credit scoring?
Yes, you said it's going to launch something.
Oh, okay. Today, when you go to the bank to take a loan, they look at the prime rate from the central bank and they add whatever risk exposure they think that you're coming up with. And because there are no individual credit scoring, it's generalized that, look, NPLs as non-performing loans, as we have on the books of the bank, they factor all of that into the interest rate. So the margin on the interest on the prime rate is so huge. But if we are able to eliminate that general risk factor and individualize it such that because I pay my loans when I take loans, I have a better scoring than somebody who is not servicing their loans. I have a better scoring. So when we go to the bank to take loans, I probably will have a lower interest rate relative to the person who is a higher risk. That's just the fundamentals of it. And these are the bedrock on which economies are built. If you want, I'm saying the form in which we are doing it. It does not exist like that.
Which form?
In advanced economies, you want to buy a car or a home and all of that, you don't have to accumulate $200,000 and go to the market to buy. If you have a steady flow of income and they assess, you can pay a deposit and pay it over time. And in fact, even the impact of this credit scoring on something like mortgaging. Mortgages do exist, but it's a very limited market.
Are you suggesting that today I cannot request for a credit score?
You can.
Yeah, so what is novel about? What is? I don't want to understand what's novel about.
I'm saying that the form in which we are doing it today.
Which form? I want to understand.
What is going to be
what's novel about what is going to happen.
Every Ghanaian is going to have access to that scorer. Everyone. Once you have your Ghana card, you recollect that. Look, teachers. Not until we had Ghana card in place, right? Even identification of people, what they do, where they live, how much they earn, and all of that was challenging. We have tried this credit scoring in the past, but even because of the issues we had with identification, it never went like we experience in other systems. Now that we have a basic identification document, like the Ghana card, it's a game changer.
No, so
it's going to be a game changer. And so
we have credit scoring. We have credit scoring already.
Yeah.
There are companies licensed by the Bank of Ghana to do credit scoring.
Yeah.
They are in business.
Yeah.
I know of at least 3.
Yeah.
Okay. There is Ghana card.
Yeah.
We have Ghana card. What is new? What is novel about?
You recollect that at the time those companies were licensed, we didn't have.
No, I'm speaking about today,
right.
This morning.
So now the difference is that these credit scoring agencies, right, are going to have access to a central database which didn't exist before.
I don't understand.
We've
had a central database for how many years now?
Oh, but we have just built the Ghana card in the last couple of years.
Couple of years.
3-4 years. I got my card in 2020 or so. Or 2019 or something.
You had a card before.
But this agency is having in existence much longer than the Ghana card. It's been in existence. And so going forward, we are putting in a system comparable to any credit scoring system that you have, and this is going to bring down cost of.
Okay, so what is a credit score for those who don't know? What is a
credit score? Is they're going to look at you individual, look at your risk, the risk associated with you as an individual.
How do they? What are the factors? What do they look out for in determining a person's credit score?
If you have a steady stream of income.
So you must have a job.
Not necessarily a job. You can also be an entrepreneur who.
Yeah, you have a job.
That's
fine.
You have a job. You have a job.
So you must have.
You have shown that.
Please, so that those who are watching can follow us. So you must demonstrate that you have a steady
income
flow of income. You must demonstrate that.
That's
so you must have a source of income.
That's one of it.
Okay.
Another one. Show that in the past, or you have a propensity to repay credit when it's given to you.
Okay.
Such that if I take, let's say, for want of a better example, quick loan on MTN, right? Now your Ghana card is linked to your phone number. So they can trace whether this person, last time they borrowed quick loan, or I mean some other financing that is easily accessible. Did they actually meet the terms? Once you keep meeting the terms, your scoring goes high. But once you default, it means that you are not a very good customer to be given credit to. Your credit comes low. And so it means that when you have a lower score, it means that the risk in giving you credit, it's much higher. And so in pricing the credit to you, you have to pay a bigger interest rate to make up for the risk or the exposure that you're putting into the person granting you the loan.
Let me see if I can summarize what you said. And if I'm wrong, please correct me.
I will.
So the credit score will first of all, and I'm just going back to what you said. You must demonstrate that you have a steady flow of income.
Sure.
Okay. 2, you must show your credit history. So you must have a credit history. And a credit history simply means that you have been taking loans or facilities.
But you see,
on credit.
over there, right, there's always going to be a first time.
Well, no, we'll get to the first time. Right. I just wanted to, so that people will follow us.
Okay.
So you must demonstrate that you have a history of taking loans or facilities on credit. And that you either meet the terms or you don't meet the terms.
Right.
So the more you meet the terms when they are due, that's if you don't behave like Ghana, and you meet your terms when they are due, you have a good credit score. Not so. And if you do not meet the terms, that is if you behave like Ghana, you do not have a good credit score. Is that it? You ignore the Ghana, you ignore the Ghana one. I think that's a problem for you. But that was the only example that could come to mind. But that's what it means, right?
You see,
if you meet your obligations, you have a good score.
Beyond that,
you don't meet your obligation, you don't have a good score.
Beyond that, like I mentioned earlier, there's always a first time.
No, I just wanted us to clear this and get to the first.
Oh yes, I mean we are going.
Then for those who have never taken a facility, a loan or anything, or do not have a history, what happens?
So, like I said, there's always a first time. So the first time you get into the market, your pricing will take into consideration the risk exposure. The risk exposure being the risk of you not meeting. So you tend to, like when we went to the Euro market the first time in 2007, because it was our first time, certainly the risk was much higher for those who were lending us money. And so this is factored in the interest rate. Over time, when you show that you are credit worthy, it hits down on
so when you don't have
history. That is why when we go to the same market to do bonds, a country like ours is seen as with a bigger risk than maybe the advanced nations like the US or Japan. So they pay much,
no, it's not because we are new.
I'm saying that the risk exposure to the market, that's what the market determines.
Yeah, but inherent in,
so
what I wanted you to happen is that inherent in this thing is that when you don't have a credit history, the cost of borrowing to you is high.
Of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's the point that I've made.
You must have a
you
credit
build
history.
it over time.
Okay.
You build it over time.
Okay.
For those of us who probably have been fortunate to be out there for a bit, it's so. You start
So
by
for those
small,
who have
small
never
purchases.
taken a loan
You get a credit card. You get a credit card. At first, the interest rate is very high. Over time, as you go up, then you can be able to swap it for cards with lower interest. And so these are some of the interventions that the people.
So you must then try to start taking credit.
Consciously,
people
do.
Taking
In markets,
things on loan.
In advanced markets, consciously people do, just so they will have it cuts down on the cost of credits that they get.
Okay, all right, okay.
And so these are the fundamentals that we are building for an economy like ours.
Okay. Anyway,
you've never used a credit
I have
card.
never.
Only I have one
only debits.
I have one from a local bank. That
only debits. I've never used.
And it's good.
I can't sleep when
I temporary one. I know I've used a temporary one before. I can't sleep when part of a program that I had to use it. Anyway, let me say good morning to my brother Husseini, and then good morning to you once again, Doc. And good morning to our viewers, especially the very good people of the Tamale North constituency. We're talking about the U.S. elections.
Yes.
I noticed that my brother Husseini tried to, veer off.
No, I didn't veer.
Yes. No, you did.
For me, I'm surprised.
You did. How?
So he got interested.
How could I have? You made an announcement. But I was wondering how the announcement was linked to the White House.
I mean,
you found a nice one weaving the economy stupid into it. So that's fine.
The economy stupid.
Is the economy stupid? Yeah.
Yes. Alaji ABF Husseini will say a man who dies in the market needs no funeral announcement.
Yes.
And so in the case of our vice president, his propensity to deceive, because I don't want to use lies, is worldly known. I mean, is known, widely known or wildly known, however you choose to describe it. But so when he engages in some of these gimmicks, I mean, sometimes it's tiring, to want to point out to his supporters that the people of Ghana have endured him in the last 7 years and know him very well now. In fact, in the northern region, in Dagbani, Bawumia, even though that is not really the translation, but sometimes names and words have a way of meaning something else in other languages. So in Dagbani, you could say Bawumia is we have heard, or they have heard, and now in the north, what they say is that in 2016 and 2020, they voted Bawumia. That is, they voted based on what they heard. And this time around, they are voting Banyaya, which is to wait. They are voting what they have seen, because he came with all these promises, all these sweet talk, and based on what they had, they voted. But with him in office in the last 8 years, they have now seen, what his output is, and that's what they're going to base their decisions on. Look, this app, or whatever you call it, it's one of many deceptions that he has engaged in. You remember the Google app location, what was it called? Asasi, whatever, GPS, whatever. When we were all, in fact, up to today, I know that many people like myself, wherever we are going, we use our Google apps. But look at the ceremony and the money that was wasted in launching that so-called Asasi app. And the suggestion that, in fact, Ghana was the first country and even the US didn't have something like that. I mean, the ridiculousness of it has never been lost on me. Only recently, he launched another app, that first Ghana music streaming app. When we have other platforms that already stream music from Ghana, I mean, just check Uptown Music. It's already there. I mean, down this. And, when we speak of digitalization, you're talking about the groundwork that allows for digitalization to take place, like the laying of fiber optics, like the construction of the data centers, like the construction of digital centers, like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC did, without making a song and dance about it, but really laying the foundations for a digitalized economy. But you hear him talk about digitalization, and the references are made to this useless Asasi app, whatever app, and as if apps are just what makes an economy digitalized. But that's just by the way. The focus is on the U.S. elections, and I will go back there. And before the elections, I saw a joke online in which a statement was purportedly issued by the Zimbabwean government cautioning the United States to ensure that they organize free, fair, and peaceful elections, and that if they didn't, they were going to suffer sanctions from Zimbabwe. And I thought that was a classical one, given what we all witnessed in 2020, and again what we were hearing, especially from the Republican Party and Trump supporters. I mean, I thought that it was a joke, but it carried a lot of sense, given the atmosphere that we were following in the United States of America. But by and large, yesterday I came to the conclusion that Kamala Harris won many hearts, but Donald Trump won the votes. I mean, her campaign in the last 3 or 4 months was simply infectious, and I think the momentum was amazing, and the kind of campaign that she ran within the very short period of time was very, very impressive. And that is why I was happy when I heard her say that she was proud about the campaign that they have run, and not just the campaign, but the way they ran it. And I think that was really, really a good point that she made. It wasn't just about the campaign that they ran, but the way that they ran the campaign was admirable. And I think that based on that, I believe that it wasn't only my heart that was won, but she won many hearts. But I think that Donald Trump won the votes at the end of the day, and is set to become the 47th president of the United States of America. And I think that if you followed the debates and the news reportage carefully, I think it was always going to be a tall order for the Democrats to win this election. I think they lost it long before Harris was introduced into the equation. Donald Trump was really, really beaten down on Biden and the Democrats, and that is what eventually resulted in the Democrats taking that decision to drop Biden and to replace him with Kamala Harris. But the time was too short, and I would say it was damage control too late in the day. And I think that a lot of things went for Trump, like you said, and former President John Mahama referred to it recently when he recalled the elections between Bush and Clinton in the late 90s, where the economy was, the subject matter of that election, and how the Bush campaign at the time tried to, water down the effect of the economy, and how the Clinton team retorted that, look, it was about the economy, stupid. And clearly, when you try to relate what is happening in the United States of America with what is happening in Ghana, like the MPP have tried to do, you cannot but agree with His Excellency President Mahama when he says our Ghanaian election largely is also going to be about the economy, and it's also going to be about the track record of the two parties. And clearly His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stands tall when it comes to the management of the economy. And that is why it's quite interesting that many weeks after President Mahama posed many days after President Mahama posed his 5 questions, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia have been very reluctant in answering those 5, simple questions. I mean, I am surprised that a man who posed 170 questions to late Vice President Ms. Atta is finding it difficult to answer just 5 simple questions. I mean, 170 questions. Can you imagine how wicked he was as an examiner at the time to want the Vice President, Ms. Atta, to answer 170 questions? Now, he's asked 5 simple questions, and I mean, he's all over the place, unable to prefer, an answer to even one of the questions. And the questions are simple. I mean, for example, why is the dollar now selling at about $1.17 Ghana cedis? Why are we now paying almost 17 Ghana cedis for $1? Simple question. I mean, he had a full, lecture on the depreciation of the cedi before he became Vice President, and touted his knowledge and understanding of the economy as then Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. So how come it is difficult for him to refer to that lecture that he presented when he was in opposition to tell us why? I mean, to answer that simple question of why we are now having to pay 17 Ghana cedis for just $1, when he and his government took over $1 about 4 cedis. The second question, very simple. Why has Ghana's debt ballooned to about 763 billion Ghana cedis? Again, he had a lecture on debt management and overborrowing and how to manage our debt. Where are the notes? Why can't he simply refer to those notes and provide an answer to this very simple, basic question of why our debt ballooned from 120 billion Ghana cedis since independence to 763 billion Ghana cedis under his watch as chairman of the economic management team? Very simple question. He has the notes. He simply has to refer to the notes and provide the answer. The third question, very simple. Why did inflation go to about 54%, now hovering around 20%? In fact, the last couple of weeks, it has increased again, and yet the government is still projecting end-of-year inflation at about 15%. But the question is, why? Why are we having to deal with such a high inflation when he dazzled with his lectures in opposition about how to handle some of these fundamentals? I mean, these were the first 3 questions that His Excellency President Mahama asked on the day, but decided to give 2 supplementary ones. So you can call it 3A and 3B. I mean, they were very simple ones as well, and I thought that by now the Vice President would have provided answers to those questions. Why isn't he talking about the economy, for example? I mean, when you say this and they say, oh, it's digitalization, and I just told you about the digitalization of an economy is much more bigger than just the launching of apps. I mean, and you can trace the digitalization of an economy to what I said earlier about laying fiber optic cables across the country. That is providing the foundation for a digitalized economy, building data centers and digital centers like the one we have here in Accra, and many of those investments that the Minister of Communication did under President Mahama. So it's not just about launching apps when you talk about digitalizing an economy. But the question is, why is he not addressing the question of the economy when it is the most important thing to Ghanaians today, given how living conditions have worsened over the last 7 years. I mean, cement that we used to buy for about 25 Ghana cedis today, it's over 100 Ghana cedis. I mean, so with about 100 Ghana cedis, you could actually get 4 bags of cement. Four bags of cement. I mean, he said that was a very terrible economy and he was going to make life better. Today, with 100 Ghana cedis, you can't even get a bag of cement. You can't get one bag of cement. I mean, these are the issues that the everyday Ghanaian faces. A bag of rice was about, a bag of maize was about 70 Ghana cedis, 80 Ghana cedis. Then when he said the economy was hard. Today, the average Ghanaian pays over 700 Ghana cedis for a bag of maize in northern region. And so, these are the fundamental issues that people want to hear him speak about. And I think that is what the Kamala Harris campaign in the United States of America also failed to address. Because clearly, at the end of the day, if you follow the media and you follow the reportage, the people of America decided on who they could trust to manage the economy better. And that is another issue that, that's another word that we have to pay attention to. The question of trust. The question of trust. Who has credibility? Who can you trust? And like I said, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in our country today, in our politics, is very notorious when it comes to how he flip-flops and how you cannot trust what he says. I mean, too many videos are out there to make that point that he's not a man you can trust. No wonder he is said to be a notorious liar, in our politics. So clearly, I think that apart from the issue of the economy, the other question of who you can trust going forward played a key role in the people of America choosing President Trump. You may hate him, you may love him, but at least you can trust him. You can trust what he says, and you can bank on his words. And even if it is unpleasant to you, you know that he means what he's saying. I mean, so that is what is going to feature also in the decisions that people are going to make in Ghana between President Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Really, given the period of time they have all served in politics. And mind you, President Mahama has served in politics much longer than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's been in this public service much longer than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But hardly can you point to any deception or dishonesty. Hardly can you associate President Mahama with dishonesty. I mean, it's even though he's been in this public space longer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who only came into the space between 2007 and now, has already earned the tag of being a notorious liar. So it is about who you can trust. And when you look at the promises President Mahama has made over the years on political platforms, vis-a-vis the deliveries or the deliverables that he has been able to chalk as president and vice president, it is clear that he is a man you can trust. He is a man who says what he means. He's not one who will tell you things that are palatable just so that he can win your votes. Even when it is not palatable, like when the question of ESLA wasn't palatable, he pushed it through. Today, Ghana is better, as a result of ESLA, even though this administration has mismanaged it. Still, we are better, because without it, we would have been in a worse situation. I mean, the question of teacher trainee allowances and nursing trainee allowances, even when it was unpopular, he said what he meant, and he stood by it. Even though it cost him his elections, he remains very steadfast in his thinking that the best approach to some of these things are the way that the NDC wants us to go. When he talked about many such things in the past that were considered unpopular, he still stood by it. So that is a man you can trust. That's a man who will not tell you things that you want to hear. It's not every time that he will tell you the things that you want to hear. That's a leader. A leader will take you to, a better place, even when you cannot imagine it yet. may have to drag you there. Look at the question of National Service Secretariat and the mismanagement and corruption associated with it at the time, and the difficult decisions he had to take to clean it up. Today, go and look at the National Service Secretariat. It's become a rotten place once again. Look at Jida and what he did to clean it up. Even though it wasn't pleasant, he, even in the process, had to step on the toes of very good friends. But that is a leader you can trust. So clearly, apart from the issue of the economy, which has influenced the decision of voters in the United States of America, which I am sure is going to influence the decisions of voters in Ghana, the question of who you can trust is also a key consideration. And between Trump and Kamala Harris, it was clear that the people of America could trust Trump more than they could trust Kamala Harris to deal with the question of the economy and many other things. But Randy, finally, another thing that may have been lost on people who have not followed this election critically was the question of rights versus family values in the United States of America. Rights versus family values. It was clear where Trump stood when it came to the question of human rights, especially as it relates to gay rights. Clear. And many of the states, in fact, Chicago and others, the polls showed that many people, even though they were uncomfortable with Trump, were happy with his position on gay rights, which, for him, was a no-go area. I mean, he thought that states, it shouldn't be imposed on states. And that should not also be lost on us as we go to the polls in about 30 days' time, because we in this country also have that question of family values. And the fact that the Parliament of Ghana, 275 members of Parliament, have passed a law to make sure that we, protect our family values, and that law has been frustrated by the executive, of which Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is part of, should not be lost on us. The fact that the executive have frustrated the attempts to pass a law that will protect and promote our family values, should not be lost on all of us as we approach this decision. And Randy, maybe a final one. I said finally earlier, but this one I mean to be a final point. The question of climate change was also, very prominent in the discussions. And with COP29 just around the corner and the election of Trump, I can imagine how uncomfortable many climate watchers are going to be. The fact that he is known as a climate denier and again has promised to frack and drill, baby, like he puts it. It's going to raise the question of, well, how stable will the world be when it comes to oil supply, vis-a-vis how our climate, is also going to be affected, and how he may roll back some of the laws that were passed by the Biden administration to promote a climate-friendly environment. These are questions that I know that the world will be grappling with today, as Trump is set to become the 47th president of the United States of America. Right. But for here in Ghana, it is clear. Kamala Harris was a sitting vice president. He was number one on the ballot, and he lost.
All right. Okay. Alaji,
she lost.
I see you've made notes and all that. Let's take a break. I need you to write a little more, right, a little bit more.
Come on.
We'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Charlie, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with my digital skills, the one can create games in a website.
A show of boot number 1 on the ballot.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner. Dr. Baumian once said,
They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting, and therefore you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue, and then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong.
Plenty English know the full baskets. They told us they'd move us from taxation to production, but they rather imposed over 40 taxes on suffering Ghanaians. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. Dr. Baumia once said in a church,
Since 2014 in India, they have a policy to only build concrete roads because it works out much cheaper. So I said, well, let me bring this to my bosses, and we have been discussing this as recently as last week in Parliament. And Bishop Dag, I'll let you into it. Cabinet did decide last week that we should move towards concrete roads as a country.
Where are the concrete roads? It was all lies. You trust this man at your own peril. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Using Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture, brought to you by Koa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana, formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Koa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Koa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Koa MT Mixture. Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Koa MT Mixture. Choose Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244 726611 or 0591 565 778. This advert is
over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
Prepare bantama.
Matias. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Guys, here, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa.
Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling to when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome. Please look into the camera for verification. Thank you, John. You are now verified. Please select your preferred candidate. New candidate. Profile being verified. Please choose another. New candidate. Profile not ready. Please choose another. To see development options for this candidate, press yes or cancel. Will cancel free SHS. Will cancel LEAP. Will cancel health insurance. Will bring back Doomsaw. Should I continue? Press yes or cancel. Please choose another. Development options. Will improve free SHS. Free healthcare. Flat rate scheme for importers. Jobs for the youth. Affordable public transport with electric buses. Generally, a great choice. The only choice really. Thank you for voting #1.
Sure. Vote #1 on the ballot.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your intention?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in your office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
The luckiest.
*712#.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a package when you come. One lie. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, we'll ready. We are *712#. Put your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. *712#. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy ticket for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body, Hey, never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompt and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Dr. Baumia once said,
But if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Dr. Baumia, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis. And today, 11.5. The rate of depreciation. What are we going to say? $1 India, a Turkish near Medina, ewo dosa or the bremi. Embla me money deposit. Not dollar no. 6 cedis to $1. In August 2022, all budget $100,000. I have the evidence. Between 1,550,000 Ghana cedis, meaning the dollar was 15 cedis, 50 pesos. Where were the strategies?
The dollar, which was selling at 4.2 Ghana cedis in 2016, is today selling at about 17 Ghana cedis. Prices keep rising, businesses are collapsing, yet the so-called economic messiah is dead silent and totally clueless about how to fix it. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Alhaji Fuseni Isa and Alhaji Al Hassan Suhini. Okay, I don't even realize that I was dealing with Al Hassan and Fuseni.
No, for him it's the second name, for me it's my first name. No, it's my first name.
That's your first name? Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Alasan and Hussein. That's why Alasan went to Mecca first. Yes. Anyway, as a proud official global betting partner of Arsenal, Betway is bringing you way more with a new fan exclusive page. Place any bet on Arsenal and you stand a chance to win exciting monthly prizes from a range of Arsenal jerseys to memorabilia and more. Not only that, you also stand a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime play on the pitch experience at Emirates Stadium. This competition will end on the 31st of January 2025. It's exclusive to Betway, is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Terms and conditions apply. Betway gets way more. Say.
Yeah, Randy. A few reactions to what Honorable Suhini had spoken about. First, I want to speak about the family values that he mentioned, and you should know that the New Patriotic Party is a center-right conservative party, and so it is very much in our DNA to be very respectful to family values and all of that. And our leaders, the president has spoken severally on his stance on this. The candidate, the sitting vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has also said and spoken widely about where he stands personally. And when he becomes president, he had promised the good people of Ghana that he is not going to be part of any legislation or acts that are going to obstruct what we naturally stand for as a conservative party. And so I don't think that good people of Ghana should harbor any fears or doubts in their head. We have made a clear stance that this is where we stand as a party, as leaders of our party. The president has spoken, the flag bearer of the party has spoken, and so there's everything clear in our minds that as conservatives as we are, we stick to ensuring that the natural human rights are upheld and family values are also upheld. Randy, I also want to talk about the credibility and who a credible and a trustworthy leader or a politician is and who a liar is. Honorable Suhini wants to paint a picture, and I don't know why they keep doing that. I don't know why they keep doing that, but I'm not going to go on that tangent because it's just on me. We're talking about President John Dramani Mahama, the man who at one time told us that we should not implement a policy like free SHS based on the whimsical promises of a desperate politician, and that if he, as a president, had 2 billion cedis, he was not going to invest in a policy like free SHS. He says that one moment. Another moment, he claims that he is the person who actually started the policy of free SHS and that he was going to implement it progressively. Another moment, he comes to tell us that the policy that he had sponsored adverts against in the past, in 2020, he is now going to ensure that any shortfalls in the policy is fixed and it becomes a better policy under him than those who actually believed and implemented this policy. This is a flip-flopping politician who cannot be trusted because you don't know where he stands on policies like this. This is a man that you can call a liar if Suhini wants to go on that tangent. This is a man you can call a liar. But I'm not going to sit here this morning and call him a liar. But he flip-flops, and I am not sure that he really knows what he's about. See, this same John Dramani Mahama that we are talking about, at one time when a question was posed to him, how come our national debt is moved from what he inherited around 9 billion to 122 as he left? He had told the media that the Ghanaian media is lazy and that they should investigate and explain to the good people of Ghana, and that any transaction that the government gets into that affects the national debt is taken to Parliament, and that when you go to Parliament and you take the Hansard proceedings in Parliament, every debt is shown in there and the purpose for which we contracted that loan is there. This is the same one who comes and he's asking now somebody else to go and if he wants to find out from someone else. I'm wondering why he won't go to Parliament. I'm wondering why he won't go and pick the Hansard. I'm wondering why he won't go and pick the records of Parliament to check and to satisfy himself how come our debt levels has moved from 122 to whatever it is. This is a politician you cannot trust. This is a politician you cannot again, not again, and never again. This is a politician who we bequeathed a growing economy, and NDC without their records, the highest growth rate recorded in this country, 14% in 2011, is true. And the reason we all know, first oil investment has come in. But the records also show that from that level in 2011, every year subsequent to that, until they handed over, the growth rate in this country fell. Until it got to 3.7%. That's where we inherited. And you call this a competent politician? Relative to what we have and where we assumed the reins of power, from 3.7% in the first 3 years before COVID, we grew this economy average of 7% per annum. And that is what you do to make a difference. See, at the time we inherited this economy, the size of this economy was about 56 billion. We have grown the economy and added 20 billion in the space of 8 years. This is what the good people of Ghana are going to watch and vote to retain the new patriotic party in power. Now, when we talk about digitalization and infrastructure, look, at the time we assumed reins of this country, there were 78 telephony sites. Today, as we speak, there are over 1,000. This is what we have added to the infrastructure based on which we are building this digitalized economy. And that is how you grow an economy. That is what the good people of Ghana are going to appreciate and retain the elephant in the Jubilee House. We talk about the inflation levels. It's true. as of 2022 December, just like the global economy everywhere. And this is what the Biden administration suffered. We were recording in excess of 54% in inflation. Thankfully, we have shown that we are capable. And you see, at the height of the pandemic, I will remind Ghanaians again, our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in his fellow Ghanaians, he had told Ghanaians that, look, his priority at the time was to preserve lives and that he was going to do everything feasible. Within that time, we saw a record number of health workers being engaged. Some were given incentives, tax breaks, excess allowances just to ensure that they are able to cope with the challenges of the pandemic. The whole of Ghana had water running through our taps for months. Electricity bill was slashed. Nobody on the public wage bill was affected. Everybody, although they were not going to work, every one of them got their salaries. Teachers were home for about a whole year. Yes, so they were paid full salary. It got to an extent where fresh food and cooked food were distributed to areas that were locked down, including my own neighborhood. So these are the realities that we have gone through. With all of this, with all of these challenges, we still kept the light on. Look, if today you are a barber, you are a hairdresser, you are a vulcanizer, you are somebody who is doing some ice block related, somebody who is using electricity in one way or the other, recollect where you were, where your business was, and the challenges you had to go through prior to 2016. For years, when you closed from work and you were going home, you had to call home to ask whether you had light. It was going to inform what your next steps were going to be. We couldn't even cook and keep in our fridges. No.
So what did the MPP do about it?
We have kept the lights on.
How?
We have kept the lights on, period.
How?
The lights are on today. And industries and people using electricity for their domestic purposes would not have to resort to generators. Generators became some commodity.
To keep the lights on.
Honorable, you see.
You know, I'm just surprised.
See, I was here.
Tell us how.
No. You can come and sit here and ask the questions. If you want to ask the questions, you can come and sit here. If you want to ask the questions, you can come and sit here. Right. We have kept the lights on for 8 years.
Without telling us how.
We have kept the lights on.
Okay.
For 8 years, we have kept the lights on. That's the most important thing. The lights are on and the lights are going to be on. This is a leader you should trust. We talk about a credible leader. A leader that is not engulfed in controversy. President Mahama may have been in public life longer, but he has been vice president under Atanos for 3.5 years. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vice president for almost 8 years. Under no circumstances have we had the president of the nation, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, cause an investigation into anything that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has done.
Which investigation was...
We had the Airbus scandal in Ghana.
Which investigation?
That President Mills caused an investigation into the procurement.
It is not true.
Randy, you can right? But we saw investigations. We saw what happened in the international media. We saw what happened in the Airbus scandal. It was reported widely in the US and the UK. It was reported widely. We saw who government official one was. We saw what our OSP came to do.
Please. You made an emphatic statement here.
Yes.
Yeah. And I told you it's not true.
But
you have not provided the evidence to back what you said. You have just moved on to say other things.
The evidence about Airbus scandal investigation in the US, scandal investigation in the UK, right here in Ghana.
As vice president, hold on. You said as vice president. The President of the Republic instituted an investigation into his conduct.
Yes.
Where is the evidence of that?
Oh, I may not have a paper evidence. I may not have a paper trail to give you. A paper signed by the president. He didn't announce it, but we know.
You and who know?
Oh, of course, man. It's been
their propaganda team.
Copious.
All right, okay, just
copious.
propaganda team.
We were in Ghana where Manasseh undertook the Kanazoi Ford expedition, where a certain vice president was given a vehicle from a contractor who was executing government contracts. And all of this, nothing has been related or pointed to Dr. Baumia that gets to that levels. Nothing. And between the two, which one is credible? Which one is more trustworthy? And which one should garner and trust our future? And I would every day, and I'll urge everyone watching us today and the whole of Ghana, that look, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vice president for 8 years. Before then, he ran in opposition for 8 years. He's been in high public offices like a deputy governor of the central bank. No iota of corrupt cases being brought against this person, and this is the person that we should trust.
So, is your problem an allegation that is made, or your problem is a proven case of wrongdoing?
My point is that at no point has Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia been engulfed in any
When
sort
you
of...
say engulfed, what do you mean?
Being investigated by any public, like the OSP did, where John Dramani Mahama was nicknamed the government officer 1.
Yeah, but
to
what end? To what end?
But he's so far from those transactions that he's not even involved. And you see, when people talk about this particular transaction,
Chief, just hold on. Let me ask a question.
Yeah, please do.
Are you suggesting that anytime an allegation is made against a person or the person's office, the person stands guilty, irrespective of the outcome of the matter?
That is not what I'm.
So what is the point?
But you see, in this particular Airbus case, right? Yes. Airbus ended up paying penalties and fines in the US and the UK. Yes. You think that if there was nothing wrong with the transaction, a company like Airbus will go and pay millions in charges and penalties?
That's not what you are saying.
What I'm saying,
accusation against a person.
Of course, John Dramani Mahama was involved there.
Chief, can you show us any evidence, whether it is Airbus in America, in the UK, wherever, in heaven, in hell, anywhere, where a finding, anywhere, they fly up there, where any finding of wrongdoing was made against the person that you're talking about?
My point is that Airbus, as a corporate entity, had to pay fines,
because of John
penalties,
because of John Mahama.
Because of that transaction.
No,
within that transaction?
Yes.
John Dramani Mahama was a very active participant.
As what?
To the extent that he was named within the investigations as government officer 1.
And I'm happy with where you're going to, because very soon you would find the reason why I'm asking you these questions.
Okay.
So, because when a person is named, or an allegation is made against a person in a transaction, irrespective of the outcome of the investigation, irrespective of the findings of the investigation, the fact that a person's name has been mentioned or his office has been mentioned, it makes the person guilty.
Randy,
is that a point you're making?
Randy, my point is that if the investigations in the UK and the US did not have any adverse findings, there will not be any penalties or charges on Airbus.
Were adverse findings made against
the second leg of my argument?
No, don't move to the second leg.
Let me make my point before I lose my line
you don't have to lose it. When you make these allegations, what you need to know is that there is also a liability on myself and the station.
Okay.
So that's why I will indulge you.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, the mere fact, I'll give you just one example. There was an allegation of a coup plot in Ghana. ACP Agojo retired. He was one of the accused persons. He was interdicted by the police service.
That's true.
It went on for 5 years. The court eventually declared that he was innocent.
That's true.
His name was mentioned.
That's true.
He was taken to the BNI. He was in custody. He was sent to court over 5 years until he retired. Are you saying that the fact that he was accused He was placed before court. Allegations were made against him.
You see.
And that, hold on, and that some people have been found guilty of a plot.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that
yes,
a corporate entity, an international company like Airbus was made to pay fines and penalties in millions of dollars in the US and the UK because of a particular transaction. That is
not a particular transaction, a lot of transactions.
Given that a company like Airbus agreed whether out of court settlement so they can keep their business running meant that there was something that they were found culpable of. That is established. And so the active participants in that transaction cannot say that there was a transaction in which this company is paid penalties and charges for that transaction, and I'm an active participant in that transaction, but I have been exonerated.
An active participant because he did what?
If there is a transaction, and there are parties to the transaction, Ghana is getting into an international transaction. Ghana as an entity, they are actors on behalf of Ghana. Could be me going to sign a contract on behalf.
No, I just want you to explain to me.
Yes,
the role he played. For which reason you say that he was an active participant?
If I go to sign a contract on the part of the Republic, the Republic is an entity.
So did John Mahama sign a contract on behalf of Ghana?
I am giving an example. I can go sign.
Okay, it's okay. We'll waste time.
You see, but you see, this OSP exoneration of JDF is also one leg of it. It was based on the fact that information available to the OSP is what they did. That's what the OSP said, right? That's what the OSP said. But beyond that, we have seen a corporate entity being culpable, and that is not denied.
And the corporate entity that was culpable is John Dramani Mahama.
The corporate entity is Airbus, and Airbus was involved in that transaction with the Republic of Ghana.
Okay, fine.
And so this is not a leader that you can trust and give the future of Ghana.
I hope you are very mindful of all the things that have happened in your government. And all those who have played any role.
I won't run away from the record of the patriotic government. I won't run away from it. I will defend it every day.
Let me bring in.
Randy, you know there's a record of the Vice President's office using fictitious documents to steal 10,000 bags of rice from a business.
The office wrote to say that they didn't have anything to do with it.
Judging by Alaji's submission.
Well, that's why I was cautioning him.
Well, but I'm just saying, judging by it doesn't matter what the prophet says. What we know is that the fact is that
to the extent that they were named.
They were named. You know, they use fictitious documents. The vice president of, and up till today, we don't know what he has done to anybody who was supposed to be acting in his name. All we know is that there are those documents that were used to steal 10,000 bags of rice of a businessman.
But the record also states that the office issued a statement.
I'm saying that judging by his submission.
No, I can understand. It doesn't. I can understand where you're going.
It doesn't matter.
But it's just important that
I mean, we also heard Kofi Nyantechi, didn't we? About Kwesi Nyantechi, about the sharing.
Which one, the FA?
The sharing formula and how much was going to the vice president. We heard that. And how much the sharing formula and how much was going to the vice president. We heard that. That's a certain vice president. We heard my good friend Charles Dubois. We heard that. And what the vice president was supposed to be getting from whatever deals were taking place. I mean, so these are things, judging by, Fuseini's own submission, that, we can make reference to when it comes to what the vice president is doing. But you see, what is fact is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been out of office for 8 years, has gone nowhere. In fact, has not only dared this government on many occasions, but has actually taunted them. That if they have anything against him, they should come after him. In fact, he has teased them many times to go and seize the assets that they claim and continue to peddle, that he used, Ghana to acquire abroad. He's here. He hasn't gone anywhere. And they have all the forces of the state to have brought him to book if he did anything wrong. In fact, he's not like a former appointee or a former public official who is quiet in his corner and hiding and looking for no trouble. In fact, he's taunting them. And you think that by the nature of President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the way they are behaving, if they had anything against President Mahama, he wouldn't have been languishing in jail or even going to investigative bodies. Not once has he even ever been invited to any investigative body to answer any question. Not once. And yet, it is sweet to engage in their propaganda. So that's why when he said, we know it, I said, yeah, they are propaganda team. They know it. No one else knows some of these things that they speak of. Only they, in their propaganda machine, churns those things out. I mean, as for being investigated, like you put it correctly, President Mahama was never investigated by President Mills. But the fact is that we shouldn't even expect any investigation from Nana Akufo-Addo. In fact, even lower appointees, he doesn't investigate them. He clears them. So, I mean, look at this rice matter. Look at what Kovinya. He doesn't. In fact, even appointees, DCs, he clears them. Well, now he's vice president. You think that he's going to raise any finger?
In any case, assuming that was even to happen, what is wrong?
That's what I'm saying.
With an investigation.
That's why I'm saying that
if there is a claim.
Ronnie,
I mean, I think that it's
I'm not talking just about investigation.
That is the point I seek to make.
I am talking about the fact that
when I say that we should not even count on Nana Akufo-Addo to do any investigation at all. I mean, assuming, even though it didn't happen, that it did happen, that President Mahama was investigated by his president, I will want to belong to that organization because that is an organization that acts responsibly, that wants to take action when issues of corruption or allegations of corruption comes up. I would like to belong to that organization because, you see, an organization that is self-cleansing is progressive, it's forward-looking. Unlike one that glorifies, wrongdoing and covers it up and clears it and write love letters to appointees found with millions of dollars under their beds. I wouldn't want to belong to such a criminal organization. I would want an organization that will investigate and possibly even dismiss an officer who is dreaming of making 1 million Ghana cedis without any clear-cut, above-board approach to making that 1 million. I would like to belong to such a responsible organization. So, assuming that it was even done, I think that is a mark of a responsible organization. But it didn't even happen. And I'm saying that, as for Nana Akufo-Addo, we know we can't even count on him to carry out any such investigation at all. And he says that they put the lights on. And that's why he can answer the question of how they have kept the lights on. And that's why he can answer the question of how they kept the lights on. Because the light has been on the back of the hard work of President Mahama and the NDC. That's why they had to even, at some point, move the badges around and do a song and dance about it. Check the cost of just even relocating one of the badges President Mahama.
You know the advantage.
I mean, so that is, and I remember, Randy, in my earlier submission, I talked about ESLA.
I didn't hear what.
I didn't even hear. I didn't
hear what you said.
I don't even want to hear it because the intention is to distract me. I don't even want to focus on that.
I'm talking about the advantage of relocating a badge.
You see, advantage of relocating a badge.
Of course.
I mean, it's
like we have transmission losses so much of transmission losses. So why not take the generating plant closer to the
It's like what I say.
So what is the big deal?
That someone gives you a horse, and then another person provides you with a saddle. And says that you must acknowledge the advantages of riding a horse with a saddle and forget about the horse, the one who gave you the horse. I mean, logically, it doesn't make sense. So that's the point I'm making, that look, the lights have been kept on the back of the hard work of President Mahama. But for the badges, but for ESLA, which provided financial security.
At what cost?
You know.
At what cost?
You know that.
At what cost?
Why don't you prosecute him if there was any wrongdoing? In fact, when you were given the opportunity to renegotiate it, you came with a worse deal. When you were given the opportunity to renegotiate Ameri, you came with a worse deal, and as a result, when due to public uproar, you had to dismiss, sacrifice, an innocent minister of state.
I thought you said we cleared everybody.
Yeah, I'm saying you had to sacrifice him so that you could clear others, because we know those who were involved in it. He was just a sacrificial lamb. He was not the one who was going. So the lights have been kept on as a result of President Mohammed's hard work. And as for the fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a liar, I mean, it is commonly known. Then he talks about free SHS. I mean, come on. I mean, how long will you engage in this propaganda? What President Mahama and the NDC have always been against has been how poorly you are running free SHS. The jury is out there. The videos are out there. The records are there.
But this is the man who said he was not going to implement free SHS on the whimsical promises of a desperate politician.
That he's going to
and
do
that if he had money, he was not going to invest money in the free SHS.
I mean, so what is wrong? What is wrong with your comprehension? What is wrong with your comprehension?
He flipped today and saying that he was going to fix
it. What is wrong with your comprehension when he says that he will not implement free SHS in the haphazard manner, the poor manner that you are doing it, and that he would rather do it in a pragmatic manner, in a qualitative manner? How is that flip-flop? And he has been consistent.
At the first opportunity,
in fact, in 2012, go and listen to the IEA debate in 2012, where he said that it was no political party's promise to run free SHS, and that it was in our constitution. And our constitution had, proposed.
Our constitution proposes free universal basic education.
No, that's a lie. It says education must be. No, it says that education must be progressively free.
You had a timeline.
This didn't have a timeline. Was the only one with a timeline. The other one was education must be progressively free in this country. That is a fundamental law of the land, that education must be made free. And that is the point President Mahama made in 2012 during the IEA debate. And so that no one should claim free SHS as a party, policy. Because it's in the constitution. And then he went on to say that, look, the way you are saying you want to implement it will run into problems. But this is the way I will implement it to guarantee quality and to ensure that our students come out to serve us better.
5.7 million
so
Ghanaians
that is not
from the policy that you are bastardizing.
That is not a departure.
5.7 million Ghanaians have benefited.
What is wrong with you? So what I have said is a bastardization. I mean, is it comprehension that's your problem? All I have said is a bastardization.
But we saw the adverts of the NDC. An attempt today you are here saying that it is a policy that's
I am shocked. I am shocked at the levels that you go with your propaganda in the NPP. An attempt to improve a program.
An attempt
to ensure.
Did you not fund adverts against free SHS?
Which advert was against free SHS?
Run up to 2020 elections.
The poor implemission of free SHS. We are still up to 2016 and if I have the chance, I'm going to still promote an advert against students sleeping outside without dormitories. I will still promote an advert about how students are fed. I'm still going to promote an advert about how students are sleeping outside without dormitories. I will still promote an advert against how students are fed poorly, how they don't have dining halls. I'll still promote an advert about how parents have to struggle to take their children to school, and in less than 2 months they have to come home and stay for about 3 months. I'll still promote an advert against the poor implementation of free SHS, because that has been the difference between the MPP and the NDC. Whilst the MPP implements it as a box tick to win votes, the NDC has been very focused on doing it pragmatically and ensuring that we all get the best out of it. When we got the opportunity, we started the progressive implementation and the pragmatic implementation by building the E-blocks to create accommodation, to create space, by building the E-blocks to create space, and by introducing it free for day students, because at the time, given our budgetary allocations, we did not think that we could support quality feeding of students and we could provide them with good dormitories so that they will not have to sleep outside. So it was just like we all manage our families at home. Depending on the income you have, you pragmatically, you gingerly introduce responsibilities and take those responsibilities and execute them. So His Excellency President Mahama consistently has been very clear about the need to implement free SHS in a qualitative way, in a pragmatic way. He has never departed from that. And he started with the provision of the e-blocks to create space for the students. He also began with the implementation of free SHS for day students, because he was looking at how we could increase our economy, we could grow our economy, and support the feeding and provision of dormitories for our students. And that is simply logical. That is simply a leader who is honest to you and telling you what he can do. And not, free SHS launch. Students are sleeping outside. Oh, yeah, it's part of the problem. Students are not being fed well. Oh, it's part of the problem. There's a double track. Oh, yes, it's part of the problem. Why are you a leader? You are supposed to ensure that as much as possible, the problems are limited. And that is what President Mahama stands for. And then he told a lie that NDC, supervise the decline of our economy every year. Complete lie. Under the NDC, this economy never grew at a negative. Every year was a growth. You can say it was a low growth, but every year under the NDC, the economy grew.
Yeah, but
so don't lie. Don't lie that there was no growth.
I said there was a decline.
There was never a decline. There was never a decline.
But in 2011,
you know that
in 2011, the economy had grown by 14%. Right?
14%.
By 2016, it was growing at 3.7%.
And that's a decline? What's your understanding of the growth of the economy?
Now is growing.
You see, you are a banker and you should be educating me. Unfortunately, let me tell you. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Growth rate. And how else can you?
When an economy grows by 14% in a year, and then the ensuing year it grows by 3%, that is not a decline.
It's a decline in the growth rate.
It is
a decline in the growth rate.
Oh my goodness.
How else can you define it?
Oh my goodness.
How else can you define it?
It is still, but it is not a decline of the economy.
I said it's a decline in the growth rate. We are talking about a rate at which is growing. It's a decline in the growth rate. How else can you define it?
That's what we run.
Let's move on. So yesterday evening,
please permit me. You see that they have engaged in this ridiculous propaganda of Nkoko Kitikiti.
Yes.
Do you know that on page 23 of their manifesto?
Yes.
In fact, it's right here. They are actually talking about how they are going to ensure that the youth of Ghana are encouraged to go into poultry production. Do you know that it's in their manifesto?
I saw a post by Annie on Facebook.
Yet, I mean, that is the deception championed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When you have the head of fish rotten, then you don't blame, the rest for what they engage in. I mean, in fact, they have even done a flyer. It is what? Great fisheries food security. What is next with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Incentivize more youth to go into poultry production.
Yes.
Yet they are running an advert. In fact, he himself recently on a platform was ridiculing President Mahama for promoting poultry.
What is wrong with that? We are going to promote
poultry, production.
We are going to
encourage young people. But President Mahama has the record of supporting poultry farmers in this country.
We need to move on.
And ensuring that.
So yesterday, gentlemen. So yesterday. She wasn't a Muslim.
Yeah.
She wasn't a Muslim.
Oh, okay.
That's
what was her name?
That's another. I told you.
What was her name?
You are just engaging.
Is every person you know called Isa a Muslim?
No.
Yes. So why
not necessarily? Because that's an Arabic name.
No, that is all you said a Muslim lady was brought. I said the person is not a Muslim. They say what's the person's name?
It's just something that
no, that's the propaganda machine. And when they put it in there, they won't go repeating it.
I just try to.
Just go repeating it.
Or that day for said.
For your own credibility. Verify some of the things before you say them. For your own credibility.
If as Alhaji Isa, you say you're giving me pics to go and rear, I mean people, I will actually mean Alhaji. You know what I can't. That's not just what I was.
For your own credibility, my advice, my brother, is that verify some of the things.
So the head of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jimenez, has declared, quote, "We now have a robust, credible, final, certified, which is fit to deliver a credible, transparent, fair, peaceful, and glorious election come the 7th of December 2024. This is what she said yesterday. It says, she also disclosed that at the last IPAC meeting on 15th of October, The parties were provided a template on which to report issues they had with the provisional voters register. However, no political party raised an issue. 2 days before the advertised date, she proudly announced soft copies of the final certified copies of the voters register for the 2024 general elections will be made available to stakeholders of the elections. And she thanked God, the EC staff, political parties and citizens among others. She used the opportunity to assure Ghanaians of the Commission's commitment to conducting free, fair, transparent, glorious and peaceful elections come 7 December 2024, God being our helper. She prayed for blessings for God's beloved country, Ghana. And, quote, she says, now, in the exercise of my duty as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and in fulfillment of Regulation 27 of CI 91, as amended by CI 126, I hereby declare the 2024 final voters register as duly certified. It is finished, just like was said on the cross. All right. However, the NDC has raised issues with this, and the Electoral Commission has issued a statement this morning in response to the NDC's concerns that were raised yesterday. I have the Director of Elections and IT of the NDC, Dr. Mani Buama, to speak with us. We'll also be speaking with Dr. Bosman, the Deputy Commissioner, Electoral Commission. We'll also be speaking with him on this issue. But I believe that we have Dr. Mani Buama with us now. Good morning, Doc.
Very good morning, Doc, and good morning to your panelists.
All right, good morning. Now, how's your son who was posted to Kwabenya Community Day that you protested against because you didn't deem it appropriate to send your children to the day schools that you built for our children? How is it doing? And has government had mercy on you to give you a Class A school?
Randy, it's good you are breaking the ice.
Morning, sir. Yes.
Very good you are breaking the ice. I truly admire our SHS system, and I think that the government should have listened to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and improve the SHS system. Unfortunately, they were recalcitrant. They decided to misinterpret President Mahama's promise to review free SHS to mean to cancel it, played politics with it, and so we are saddled with the double track system, saddled with poor feeding, saddled with congestion in dormitories and classrooms, teachers not being paid the necessary motivation, allowance for the extra work they are doing and all. And this is what President Mahama is promising to address when, by the grace of God, he is re-elected, as another former president has been re-elected. But let me state that the fact is, none of my children is in the SHS system. None of them is in the DEC system. So that was just a fabrication, and it should be treated as such.
All right, so let's get on to the Electoral Commission. Now, in the exercise of my duty as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and in fulfillment of Regulation 27 of CI 91 as amended by CI 126, I hereby declare the 2024 final voters register as duly certified. It is finished. Now, at the IPAC meeting on October 15, during which political parties were provided a template on which to report issues they had with the provisional voters register, no political party raised an issue. Now, yesterday, your party raised a lot of issues. I've seen posts by yourself suggesting that you needed some ballot statistics and certain breakdowns and others that the EC did not provide you. The EC this morning has also issued a statement explaining that, first of all, what you're asking for is never ever been provided by the Electoral Commission as far as its dealings with political party and the provision of the register to political parties are concerned. Nonetheless, when I say you, I don't mean you as Dr. Mani Boama, but the NDC. When you raised issues with it, so let me actually read what they said. The statement says that the Electoral Commission on Wednesday, 6 November 2024, provided all registered political parties and independent presidential candidates with the soft copies of the certified voters register in accordance with Sub-Regulation 4 of Regulation 27 of Constitutional Instrument CI 91. The soft copies, which were presented to the political parties on external hard drives, contain the valid voters register, the exceptions list, the multiples list, the transferred voters list, the absent voters list, the manual verification list, the proxy voters list, and the special voters list. At the meeting, the National Democratic Congress requested for the summary of the above lists. Although the Commission is not required by law to provide statistics of the various lists to parties, in the spirit of responsiveness, it granted a request by the NDC. To enhance transparency and accountability, the EC took the time to generate the summaries requested on regional basis. Realizing that this would take time to generate, the parties requested the EC to send the breakdown to them after waiting patiently. The public should note that since 1992, the Electoral Commission has always provided only, and only is in block letters, the soft copies of the certified voters register to the political parties without the breakdown of statistics requested by the NDC. The Commission also wishes to place on record that, as was promised during the IPAC meeting on the 15th of October 2024, the Commission duly delivered on its promise to release the certified voters register within the first week of November 2024. The Commission assures all stakeholders that the certified voters register is robust and credible. We urge the public to support the Commission to deliver free, fair, transparent, and credible elections in December 2024, and signed by Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman, Operations. Reading this, my question will be, why is the NDC causing fear and panic?
We are not causing fear and panic at all. And Randy, it's sad that the Electoral Commission would want to be comparing performance that is expected of them in 2024 with all the sophistications that we have had in IT, with performance in 1992, performance in 1996, and so on. In any case, the CI 127 doesn't talk about provision of ballot statistics when we are printing ballot papers. You will recall that ahead of printing the ballot papers, we demanded for the ballot statistics. Other political parties felt there was a need to provide the ballot statistics ahead of printing. Otherwise, on what basis was the Electoral Commission going to print the ballots for particular polling stations and for particular constituencies? Again, in CI 127, a returning officer for a constituency is the person who is responsible for collation of results. As I speak to you, the Electoral Commission is recruiting what the Electoral Commission has decided to call constituency collation officers. When I questioned the Electoral Commission at IPAC, why they were engaged in something that is alien to CI 127, the response was that, they are just supposed to assist the returning officers. We'll come back to this. I've cited these two examples that the EC itself is engaged in to prove that when it sees the issue, they do accept that common sense is also applied to law. Let's ask ourselves, today, the hard drives that the MPP went home with, that other political parties went home with, What is the guarantee that those hard drives contain the same data? What is going to be the reference point? And to use an analogy, can you imagine if, let's say, an accounts officer at Metro TV is given money in a bag or in an envelope and asked to go and deposit it at the bank, and the accounts officer asks, can you list how much I'm sending to the bank and add maybe the different notes that are contained in there? And you say, we won't tell you how much, we won't tell you the notes, just go and deposit it at the bank. That is what the Electoral Commission is asking us to do. And let me show within a very short time the significance of what our team that represented us would have done if the Electoral Commission was able to provide the statistics. I'm going to use three statistics. One is the absent voters list, the absent voter statistics for the whole country. The second one is the total transfers. And the third one is the special voters total for the whole country. You know, the special voters are the journalists, the media personnel, the security personnel, and permanent and temporary staff of the Electoral Commission. So when someone registers as a special voter, you apply to be a special voter and is granted. It means that you are going to vote on 2nd December. It means that on 2nd December, when you vote, you should not be able to vote on 7th December. In order that if anyone tried to vote again on 7th December, the person can be identified and not allowed to vote. Their names are captured on the absent voters list. The second category is people who transfer their votes. When people transfer their votes out of a polling station, their names are also captured on the absent voters list for that particular polling station. What this means is that if you add the whole country, the total number of absent voters and the total number of special voters, it should be equal to the total number of special voters and the total number of transfers. It should be equal to the total number of absent voters. So if we want to check the integrity of an electoral register nationwide, one of the tests that you can perform to ascertain the integrity, to believe what Madam Jemensa is promising in the name of God, that is a credible certified register, is just to add transfer for the whole country, special voters for the whole country, and check whether it is equal to absent voters for the whole country. It will tell you the integrity, one layer, integrity of the voters I register. But Madam Jemensa wants to engage in bibliomancy, bring in God, and hope that as God-loving people, we will just accept the hard drive that was distributed to the various political parties as sacrosanct. That is not how scientific work is done. What we are doing has to do with data. Again, I come to, if we are asking for the total number of voters, so as we speak, after they saying they have put out the certified register, total number of voters, Honorable Suhimi's constituency, how many voters are there? Electoral Commission wants us to go and generate that ourselves. Can you imagine if NDC says total number of voters in Manchester South is this, and NPP says it is that. Is it at that point that the Electoral Commission is going to step in to say that no, that is not it, it is this?
Okay, Doc.
So we asked for a very simple thing, and for the Electoral Commission itself to have said, oh, within a very short period of about 30 minutes, they were going to provide that. I'm sure it surprised the journalists who were present and all other stakeholders who were watching how long it took for them to return without having this. And that in itself is at the heart of the competency of the commission that we are dealing with. So are they saying they cleaned the register, loaded them onto the hard drives, and didn't bother to check the figures, the statistics, didn't do any test whether total absentees will be equal to the total number of transfers plus the total number of special voters, just to be sure that the data that you have generated is correct, the cleaning that you have done is correct. Is that what the Electoral Commission is telling us?
But Doc, how would you know if they didn't do all this? They're just saying that historically, what the details that you request for have never been part of the set of information that they give to political parties. So of course, they were just following with what they've been doing over the years. However, on the basis of your request, they have acceded to providing you with information. But there was a delay yesterday, and you, the parties, requested to give them time to today to provide you with that information. Shouldn't that end the matter?
Randy, at the heart of this is the series of incompetence that is manifesting. Severally, you take yourself back to the period where we had biometric equipment being stolen from the headquarters of the Electoral Commission and the CCTV surveillance. The period where we had the Electoral Commission getting basic arithmetic wrong. The period where we had the Electoral Commission giving us very terribly defective provisional voters register, but for our own vigilance. So on and so forth. But at the heart of it is the Electoral Commission saying that they stepped out there to provide political parties with the hard drives without knowing the statistics that were contained on the hard drives. Let's be careful, because this is the same Electoral Commission that in 2020 elections announced presidential results, got it wrong, corrected it, again had a mistake, and came back and corrected it again. It is obvious to us that either the Electoral Commission is hiding something, or they are just fatally incompetent. Because for you to want to submit hard drives to political parties and telling us that at the time of submitting the hard drive to political parties, you didn't have the data, the breakdown. I make my saying, my son Yao, who is in the IGCSE and system, will not even do this. This is our concern. And why must it always be NDC correcting the Electoral Commission, demanding what is right? I now come to Electoral Commission saying that they have never provided this. Is it the first time that we are hearing the total number of registered voters? Is it the first time that we are hearing the total number of special voters? Is it the first time that we are hearing the total number of proxy voters? So when they say that the commission has never provided this, that in itself is not wholly accurate. They are just fudging the issues, they are obfuscating the issues, and that is why perhaps Ghana as a country, we should be careful about people who engage in bibliomancy use the name of God. We have been living witnesses to a finance minister who misused the name of God in parliament severally and launched our country's economy in a ditch. We pray the commission doesn't emulate the efforts of this finance minister by misusing the name of God. Let's stick to what is right.
So Doc,
if they are saying they will provide the details,
yes,
let them do so. But let them not. Yeah.
What was the agreement? When is the EC expected to provide you with those details?
They said they are going to provide it, and looking at their promises, it is even difficult to ascertain. Fortunately, we are going to talk to Dr. Bosman. This work is very easy to do. We are surprised it even took that long.
So Doc, let me read this. Let me read this to you. Let me read this to you. A mate and a friend of mine who is in the IT space. He's actually in the UK. He operates from the UK, and he just sent me this whilst watching the program, listening to an interview. It says, "My brother, good morning. Ghana is just a joke. People are taking huge monies and titles without doing the proper work." It says the final electoral register has to be the single version of the truth document, SVOT. The NDC do not even need to ask the EC for stats breakdown. If this was a well laid out document, they should be able to filter the document and get all the stats they require. The EC is just a joke. Do you agree with this statement?
Randy, I agree. But you see, if I had used such words, you would not have allowed me. But that is what it is. Look, and I'm very disappointed in my professional colleague, Dr. Yaofurieji, who is one of the EC's IT consultants, engaged in this kind of work, that they do not have the statistics, the national statistics, but they stepped out boldly to hand over hard drives to political parties. God save our country. But you see, we will always be ahead of the commission. Randy, before we went for the meeting, we knew they were ill prepared to provide that data. Fortunately, we will always be ahead of them. But you see, if they had allowed for the forensic audit to take place, they will not have found themselves once again in this embarrassing situation where you say you have a credible register, you have submitted it to political parties, but you cannot provide the details. You cannot provide the national statistics. Food for thought. But they have managed only to postpone a deeper and better forensic audit when President John Dramani Mahama is re-elected, just as another former president has been re-elected.
All right. Okay, Dr. Maribuama, we'll leave it here. We'll continue monitoring, and we'll find out when the EC eventually gets you the documents, and we'll take it up from there. All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So that's Dr. Maribuama, who's the Director of Elections and IT of the NDC. And I told you that we had the assurance of Dr. Bosman Asari that he was going to join us via Zoom for this. But my producer has just informed me that he says he stepped into a meeting. That's what my producer and he just informed me, that he stepped into a meeting, so he's unable to join us. But it's obviously a running story, so we'll get to it. And we'll get you all the details. I'm sure that our news team will also continue following up on this particular story, and then we'll be able to deal with it. I'm also told that Parliament, there's something interesting happening. You are here, but I've just seen a post from your colleague, one of my MPs, the MP for Ningo Prampram. Yes, Sam Nate. George, no, I've seen he's speaking with the speaker, and he's actually made a post address that the speaker. And he says that, dear speaker, Please, Parliament of Ghana starts sitting at 10 a.m. It is 15 minutes past 10 a.m. We were recalled at the behest of the minority MPP caucus. Not one of them is here. We left our constituencies and campaigns to report. Please come in and start proceedings. Since the NPP minority caucus appears to be boycotting their own recall request, come and adjourn the House Sinidine. M for Mochumika. Okay, so that's Dangbi for you. So that's what's happening. I don't know if you have seen anything on your caucus platform, whether there's anything happening there.
Yes, I mean, we're all supposed to report before 10 a.m. today. I sought permission from my leadership to be here this morning because we thought that it was also important for us to be represented on this very important platform this morning. So, yes, I do know that we are set. All members on our side were summoned to be in Parliament today.
Where are you sitting
in response to the emergency recall that has been initiated.
Are you sitting to the right of the Speaker or the left of the Speaker?
Well, you see, Randy, the point is that Parliament, for a very long time, has always been referred to as a master of its own game, a master of its own rules. I mean, so when anything is done on the floor of Parliament, it can only be undone on the floor of Parliament. You know, that is how Parliament operates. You know, you do not leave things hanging in Parliament. So that is why, for example, if you recall, when we rejected the 2022 budget, you know, with our numbers.
Okay, I'm told that this is actually a live
the chamber, yes, from the chamber.
Parliament.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's your group, right?
That's our group, yes. So it is clear that we are present. Our
I just want to find out whether where you are seated is to
that's the majority side. That's obviously the majority side, because that was the point I was developing, Randy. You see, things are not left hanging in Parliament. Decisions that are taken in Parliament can only be undone in Parliament on the floor. You know, so that's why they refer to it as a house that is a master of its own rules. Look, we had a sitting, and on that day, Speaker Bagwin responded to the invitation of the majority, then the minority leader, Honorable Ato Forson, to and maybe I should take my time and explain this, Randy. And my brother Hussein will agree with me. There are two ways.
Why is so sure?
Yeah, there are two ways. He knows because he's been in Parliament before. There are two ways. There are two ways that information comes to the Speaker. There are two ways. One is the formal communication, which is in our standing orders, and the other is a member rising on the floor to either, you know, petition him or otherwise. So clearly, when the Speaker comes to Parliament and there's any formal communication that has been sent to him, especially from the Council of State or from the President, he, you know, announces that information to members of the House. Another member can rise on his feet and draw the Speaker's attention to any matter of public concern. And so on the day, the minority leader at the time, Honorable Ato Forson, drew Speaker's attention to the fact that some members, by their conduct, could no longer be said to be representing the constituencies that initially elected them. And that is where some of our people get it wrong. For example, you hear the MPP communicators say that in the case of Michael Quay, there was a letter from the NPP to Michael Quay, which Michael Quay was acting on. Yeah, that was a formal information from the New Patriotic Party to the Speaker at the time. What the now majority leader, Honorable Ato Forson, did on the floor on the day was also a communication to the Speaker, information to the Speaker, drawing the Speaker's attention to the fact that by the conduct of these four members, they could no longer be said to be representing the constituencies that initially elected them on the tickets that they stood for the elections of 2020. And that is consistent with the 1992 Constitution 97 G and H, and also consistent with our political parties' constitutions. Clearly, I mean, our standing orders also then gives the Speaker the opportunity to interpret, the provisions of the standing orders, and he is the master when it comes to interpreting the standing orders of Parliament. And in the standing orders also, it is clear how a member loses his seat. And so, based on the standing orders, based on the 1992 Constitution, based on the parties' constitutions, it was clear that by the conduct of these 4 members, they could no longer hold themselves up as members of Parliament representing their respective constituencies. So Speaker Bagwin went ahead to make the pronouncement on the matter that was brought to his attention by Honorable Arthur Forson. And the decision was taken that by that declaration, or by that determination by Speaker Bagwin, the NPP members of Parliament were now 135. You're now 135. And that the NDC members were 137. And so clearly, like Speaker Bagwin said yesterday, how could it be 137? How are we not 137? How are we not 137?
If 2 people, if 2 MPs, I vote from the NPP.
Okay, so we're 136. Sorry, forgive me. So we're 136. By the announcement. No. I mean, that's just a slip of my mind. By the announcement, we're 136, and then NPP was 135. By the announcement of Speaker Bagwin. So, like he said yesterday at his press conference, it is not for him to determine who has more numbers than the other. It is what the numbers say. It is what it is. It is what the numbers say. And clearly, by that determination, we had become the majority in Parliament. And not until, the Speaker revokes his interpretation of the standing orders on the day, the law, as it was determined, is what we parliamentarians know. Okay. And that's why Speaker Bagwin again at his press conference yesterday referred to Article 115. That talks about the freedom of Parliament. And that freedom to, engage in debate, that freedom to engage in whatever proceedings, and we must take note of that, proceedings of Parliament, debate in Parliament, cannot be impeached or questioned by anybody. Okay. Anywhere.
So I have our reporter, Michael
we are
Adote, on the line. He's in Parliament, and would like to find out from him what exactly is happening there. Good morning, Michael. Hello, Michael. Good morning. Hello, Michael. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm told we lost Michael.
Yeah, so Randy, the point I was making about Article 115 is that it is clear that proceedings in Parliament, the debates in Parliament, are all freedoms, and the speech in Parliament are all freedoms that are guaranteed, that cannot be impeached, that cannot be questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. That's what Article 115 says. And all the things I have narrated to you were either speeches made, or they were deliberations or proceedings of Parliament. And they were, as it were, freedoms that are guaranteed by Article 115 of the Constitution. So okay, if you have Michael.
Yes, hello, Michael.
Hello?
Yes, Michael, I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes, Doctor, I can hear you.
All right, okay. So bring us to speed. What's happening in Parliament?
All right, so
Hello?
Suspended the House until we ago.
All right, so just a while ago, we are about expecting Parliament to reconvene after Speaker rescheduled the House, or indefinitely suspended the House sitting, I think 2 weeks ago, due to the 4 vacant seat saga. All right, so we're currently expecting the minority in the House for the meeting to start. And as it stands, earlier the majority or the NDC MPs had asserted that they still occupy majority in the House, and so they've occupied the right-hand side of the Speaker. A while ago, we also had the opportunity to speak to the Honorable Atachia, who is telling us that he has no idea as to what exactly the meeting that is happening in the House is concerned.
Now, but we're aware that the sitting today is at the behest, or the request, sorry, of the NPP group in Parliament. Where are they? Hello, Michael. Michael, I was asking where the NPP group is.
In an earlier interview with Honorable Atachia, he gave hint that he is on his way to the Job 600, where he believes most of his colleagues are currently to find out. Yes, Doc.
Okay, and as the Speaker in the House?
Not yet. Speaker is yet to get to Parliament House.
All right, Michael, I'm sure that we... yes. Okay, I'm sure that we're having a little technical problem, which is making us have a delay in terms of appreciating each other. We'll try and sort it out, and if there's something else will come in. So, in fact, what it means is that, yes, there's a confirmation that the NDC group is in the House. They have occupied the right side of the Speaker, which is where the majority is expected to sit. The NPP group is yet to come to Parliament, the chamber, sorry, let me say the chamber. And for those who saw the Honorable Atachia on the screen, we've been told by Michael that he says he's going to Job 600 to meet up with his colleagues in the NPP group because he's aware that they're meeting up there. The Speaker is not yet moved into the chamber, and so we'll continue to follow the developments. But of course, the NDC occupying the right side of the Speaker means that they, as at this time, still are asserting themselves as the majority, and that makes an interesting day coming up.
And if you would just allow me,
if you wrap up, yes, just wrap up.
On the note that I began with, you see, I think that we have to put the blame squarely where it belongs. Honorable Afenyo Markin is a very good friend of mine, but I think that his leadership of his group is what is creating this unnecessary, tension in Parliament. Because clearly, Randy, the fact that one is minority does not stop it from still leading government business. The framers of the Constitution anticipates that you can have a government in the future with less numbers of MPs. And when that happens, the party in government cannot willy-nilly still want to be majority leadership in the House unless they do the necessary coalitions and build necessary consensus to end that. And that is what the 2020 elections sort of presented to us that the era where the governing party has its way all the time in Parliament was over, and that consensus building had to be the new, order of the day. So clearly, when it is presented as if government business cannot be transacted because their MPs are no longer majority leaders, it suggests to me that the Afenyo-Makin leadership, that is including his deputies and chief whips, are putting their desire to remain majority leaders above the need for government business to be transacted. Because they don't necessarily need to be majority leaders for government business to be transacted in the House. And by the numbers clearly, and going by the Constitution, going by the party's Constitution, and going by the standing orders of the House, clearly the numbers show that they are short by one compared to the NDC.
Randy. Yesterday, the Speaker of Parliament sought to assure us that there is no constitutional crisis in this country. But I think he's plunging this country into one. Whatever permutations or numbers and changes that has happened in the Parliament and that we all know, it's a result of he says he didn't rule because Dr. Atoforsen, the minority leader, had spoken or had brought the matter to his attention through a statement, and that he couldn't have ruled on a statement, and that he had just informed. I think that picking up from the stature or the posture of the speaker from yesterday's presser, I think that he is the one that is plunging this country into a constitutional crisis. And the Chief Justice did bring out that point at the last sitting of the Supreme Court. When you have a country where the Parliament can't sit and deliberate about issues affecting our nation, but this whole Parliament, the life of the 8th Parliament, has been full of theater and political fights and all of that to gain political advantage in Parliament rather than concentrate on what Parliament is supposed to do to improve the lots of Ghanaians. Simple. The Speaker made certain pronouncements yesterday in his presser that I want to refer to. He says he wants to leave Parliament a better institution than he left. And for a man, my response to him is that for a man who was there when it all began, for a man who is the longest person associated with the institution of Parliament, when Parliament came out with numbers like this, who else was in a better state to preside than somebody who in the 7th Parliament we called Father of Parliament just because of his longevity in the House. And today, look at where we are. The Parliament had started with fights and on his election. Today, Parliament cannot sit. And he tried to suspend Parliament because the reality is that on one side, the NDC MPs on their own, will have the numbers to begin, will have the quorum to begin parliamentary business.
That day was that they didn't have the numbers to take a decision.
I'm building a point, if you allow me. Okay. He said they have the quorum to start parliamentary, but they don't have the numbers to take a decision on his own. And I put that straight at his doorstep.
Why?
But he had given information in the House that has led to this. To the extent that the Supreme Court, if you look at Article 2, it says that, look, the Supreme Court is the ultimate institution that will interpret provisions of the Constitution. If a member of Parliament thinks that the interpretation given to what his speaker says that his reference to the standing orders, and the standing orders cannot be superior to the Constitution.
So if a member of parliament thinks that the interpretation you've given to a provision, 97(1)(g) of the constitution, it is not coterminous to what he believes and goes there, there's nothing wrong. And what does the Supreme Court say? We will hear this as early as practicable. File your, but for his objections, if he had responded to the severance that he got directly, I'm sure the Supreme Court would have made a decision by now. The Supreme Court would have taken a decision on the matter, interpreted the provision in the Constitution for all of us to get our lives back. But what the NPP MPs are saying, the majority are saying is that, look, we will not be involved in any fights or physical. Look, the Supreme Court has said that the Speaker should stay. Whether it's his information, whether it's interpretation of 97(1)(g), until the Supreme Court says, why can't the status quo remain until we get to that interpretation from the Supreme Court? I've heard the likes of Honorable Governors Kwame Abuja say that that's exactly what they are doing today. But look, the NPP MPs on the majority side are saying that, look, we would not be forced into such a until the whatever the Supreme Court decides, we would adhere to it. But we will not be part of some fight or some deviant behavior within Parliament because of some interpretation given to the Constitution by the Speaker. The Speaker says he wants to leave Parliament better. I think that for an institution that he has been part of, an institution that he's contributed to for so long, to get to this stage because he's presiding, it is dangerous. You see, for me, from the day the Speaker started dressing as a chief, sometimes as a Fulani headsman, sometimes as a
not a headsman. Not a headsman. He's never dressed as a headsman.
Sometimes he will wear the turban.
That's not how Fulani headsmen.
Wait. You know why they wear the turban?
That is insulting.
You know
That's
why?
Disrespectful, Jose.
Come on. Fulani you know why they wear the turban?
Why?
Because of the winds and the suns on the
but
desert.
he's never dressed like a Fulani headsman.
Oh, he has. There are pictures of him wearing a turban.
That's not
Has he not worn a turban in Parliament? Has he not worn a turban in Parliament? And I'm wondering about the suns and the winds in Parliament that require that he would dress like that into Parliament.
I'm surprised you are speaking like this.
Do you question judges when they put on those ropes and everything in the hot sun in Ghana?
It's been the convention of it. It took Speaker Bagbe to change that code in Parliament. And so for me, it has to come from a reason.
So if you acknowledge that he has changed the code, why do you?
Come from a reason.
Why does the way he dresses even become an issue?
What I'm saying? Oh, of course.
Why does it become an issue? Is he against any standing order or constitution?
This is the Togbe of the Parliament of Ghana. This is the Nana of the Parliament of Ghana. And it's not just my AU. You have to listen to what the likes of Muntaka has said about his stewardship of the House. You have to people who actually stood at whatever cost to ensure that he got elected by the Parliament. Listen to what they have said subsequent to his accession to the seat of the Speaker of Parliament. I think that what is happening today, I put it straightly at his doorstep. And he has said that this whole situation can be resolved within Parliament. And I expect that if he knows the right thing to do, he should do the right thing. He should get Parliament back. Because the people of Ghana cannot wait. He is getting us into constitutional crisis. And everything lies on his head. If you give me the opportunity to react to some of the issues, Dr. Manibuama. But
we don't it's almost 11.
Let's go.
I just wanted you to help me with something.
I would have loved the EC to react to it.
There's something I wanted you to help me with the picture I've seen.
The picture you've seen?
Yes. I want you to help me with it. This one.
I thought you said we didn't have time.
This one.
So the
what is it?
president had gone to the Western region. And I think the Omahini of Discourse had appreciated his contribution towards the development of the area. So they on their own.
Who on their own?
The Omahini and the people of the area had on their own.
So the man paid for this and erected it?
Yes, that's my understanding.
At the hospital?
That's the information I have. That's the information I have.
But I've seen,
it had nothing to do.
I've seen a statement attributed to the regional minister.
Absolutely. I have a statement. I have a statement that I have seen.
Yes.
That's the information available to me. That the people of the area put up this statute, and so on his rounds, he unveiled it. I don't see anything wrong with that. He didn't build it. He didn't use public funds. The people, in appreciation of his contribution towards the development in the area, decided to reward him with the statute. And what's the big deal about this?
Okay. So this is what...
If Randy, tomorrow I go to Abeka, and the people of Abeka decide to put the statute in my to honor me, what is wrong with it? Randy, what will be wrong?
Kindly listen to this. Western Regional Minister Kwabena Okyere explained that the statute honors the president's initiatives in the region, including the rehabilitation of Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital, the construction of a 3-tier Sino-Hydro interchange, and the redevelopment of the Takoradi Market Circle. That's the regional minister.
Oh, the regional minister certainly is a rep of the president.
Admits that many of those projects.
No, all three.
Oh yeah, I have either
but
or have been
they
abandoned.
are stages.
He gets
they
the assurance that
they are stages that will be completed before the president leaves.
So they have not been completed.
Goodness me.
Then again,
but the statute has been
completed and he unveiled.
What is the big deal?
I see.
Bokassa, you know.
What is the big deal?
No, I mean, I've gotten the question, the answer that you've given.
Thank you.
You said, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
There's no big deal.
Okay.
There's no big deal for them.
That's fine.
No public funds. He didn't come from him. The people are showing appreciation.
Randy, so I mean,
the last time was it Tiwa who was expressing shock?
In fact, that was what I was coming to.
Her office is not on the premises, right?
Can you imagine? She works there.
Which one is that?
And then she acted, surprised that a statue had started and finished.
The bust.
Yeah, and she didn't know about it.
Okay.
I mean, and she's still at post.
Okay.
There's a competition in government to just provoke us in this country.
There is no competition.
That's why many people cannot vote for the same person. There's a competition. There's a race.
Please give it a study again.
That's why they are abysmal. There's a competition.
That's still expressing the shock.
Yeah. When her bust was unveiled. Yeah. So, are you surprised that the president will also, get to unveil, a statue of his for projects that have been abandoned and not completed?
Okay.
It's strange. But as for Parliament, I think the responsibility lies with the majority. I mean, the former majority group to do the right thing to facilitate government.
It is not the speaker's responsibility.
It's not the speaker's responsibility.
The speaker who is creating all of this.
Guys, so we are here at the runabout of Efiam Kwanta in Sekondi, also in the Sekondi Takoradi City and the Western region. And the statue you are witnessing behind me is the statue of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And this statue was built for him by the leaders of the Western region to thank him for the good works he has done for the region in terms of development and giving the region what the region deserves. That's not what I'm saying. That's according to what the leaders are saying. So I'm throwing the question out to you. What do you think of this statue of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the Western region that has been built in Sekondi Takoradi for the good works that he has done? Leave your comments under the comment section and let's interact.
So we can